There we go, we're live. Hello everybody, welcome back to my garage. I hope you're all having a good time this Sunday evening. If it's evening where you are, might be afternoon, might be Monday morning, who knows. But welcome back to my garage for another live stream. Yes. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat. My computer is just slightly off screen today, just because I need a bit more space, because we're going to be doing some candle frames in a little while. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But let's say hello to a few people. Baby Lisa is here in the chat, saying, here we go again for a third time. Yes, this is the third live stream I've done since Thursday. I did 4.5 hours on Thursday, 4 hours on Friday. No live stream yesterday because I was working a 12-hour day. But I wanted to do a little bit of live streaming for you guys tonight. So I appreciate we're on a little bit later than we have been on the other nights. I'll be honest, that's because I kind of fell asleep this evening. So, but on the plus side, it means I have had like an hour and a half sleep just before doing this stream. So we're good to go. So Baby Lisa is here. And Joseph was here as well. Joseph says, yes, get in there, you winners. Bulletproof Mum is here. Welcome back. Evening, guys. Hopefully I'll stay awake for the whole thing this time. Probably not, though. I say I've got a bit more energy now because I did have a bit of a sleep literally just before this stream for an hour or so. So I'm feeling a little bit refreshed. We're obviously not going to go all night, but we'll go for a few hours at least. I've no doubt about that. So welcome in, everybody. 8 of you here at the moment. If you're new to my channel, if this is your first time watching me, my name's Mark. I'm in the UK, I'm in Manchester. I do fireworks, I do them professionally. Excuse me, I do them as a hobby as well. My throat's not been great the past few days. It's a little bit better today, guys, you'll be pleased to know. So hopefully it will hold out again for this stream. We'll soldier on anyway, regardless. So yeah, if you're new to my channel and you like fireworks, please do consider subscribing, click the like, tell YouTube that you like this kind of thing, if you do like it, and subscribe for live streams like this from my garage, from my back garden, from other places, and reviews, exclusive reviews, landed footage, all those kind of good things. My channel is family friendly. It's a lot of fun. I like it to be educational, and I always promote the safe, responsible use of fireworks as well. So suitable for everyone. So if you're new, that's what this channel and these live streams and things are about. If you're a return viewer, you are very welcome back to my garage. If you've been following along on the last couple of live streams, you'll know that I was prepping for a couple of shows that I've got coming up. I'm still prepping for those shows. I'm going to be prepping for those whole week. On the last 2 streams, we did the fountain tables for my Liverpool display, which is a week today. 7 days away, guys. Wow, that's coming up quick. We've got those done now. We kind of nearly finished them on the last stream. I've just finished those off stream just for ease. Today I want to look at candle frames. Candle frames are these things behind me, and I'm going to be using those in my display in Manchester on bonfire night on the 5th. Why am I using candle frames? I'll be honest, I don't usually use candle frames. Normally what I do when I'm doing candles, I will put a big long stake into the ground, something a little bit like this, just like a garden stake. You know, you can get these from DIY places, garden centers, things like that. Hammer that into the ground at the angle I want, tape the candle to that, and that's fine. And that's what I'll be doing for my Liverpool display. My Manchester display, however, though, is on a football pitch, a professional FA grade football pitch, so I can't hammer these kind of things into the centre of the football pitch for obvious reasons. So I have to come up with a solution, an alternative. So for my Manchester display, I'm going to be doing all my candles on candle frames. Again, they're on speaker stands and lighting stands. I've built these frames. We'll talk about them more in a few minutes. And that means I don't have to hammer anything into the ground for my candles. So that's what we're going to be doing on this stream. How far we'll get, I don't know, but I have already made a bit of a start off stream just to try and get a little bit ahead. Let's catch up on a little bit of chat though first. Harry is here. Hi, have you got any Yorgi fireworks? I certainly have. Yes, I'm a big fan of Yorgi, and there's quite a lot of Yorgi products across both my displays. Some cakes, some candles, some fountains, some strobes. I do like Yorgi products, I really do. So yes, I have got some Yorgi products, and we'll see some of those in a bit. You may even be able to spot some on my candle frame here already, but we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But welcome in, Harry. Great to have you here. And Pyro Worldwide is here. Pyro Worldwide says, loving the videos. I'm looking forward to starting the prep work tomorrow for my display on the 3rd. Got 400 individual fireworks to prep. 400? Wow. And you're only just starting your prep tomorrow? You're going to have a busy week, my friend. Keep the videos coming. Yes, I certainly will. There'll be more live streams coming up over the coming weeks. Coming week? coming week as I get all these things prepared. There will be live streams coming in the coming weeks as well, but there's certainly going to be quite a lot coming up this week as I prepare my 2 shows, one in Liverpool and one in Manchester. Veronica and Todd are here. Hi guys, welcome in. They say, hi Great Marko, good to see you from your friends Veronica and Todd. Janie B is here. Janie B says, hello, the great Marko. Welcome in, Janie. Thanks for being here. And Dale Gartland is here. Says, help please, bud. I bought some hobby fuse. What's the best way to fuse them together? Are you talking candles? Are you talking cakes? Are you talking fountains? Let me know in the chat and we can absolutely talk about that. Yes. Hobby fuse, for those of you who don't know, I mean, that's like a sort of American term. Visco fuse is what we call it over here. But yeah, I'm more than happy to talk about that. That's fine. Just let me know what you're actually trying to fuse together, and we can certainly talk about that on the stream. So 13 of you guys here at the moment. We will get started on these in a minute. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're up to. So tonight I want to get my candle prep done for my Manchester show, or at least make a good start on it. So candle frames, what are they? They're these things here. And what I've done, it's basically some wood. This is, I recently had a new roof on my extension because the old one was leaking. It was horrible. I had a new roof. And obviously by doing a new roof, they put new battens down, new felt all that. There were some battens left over. So these are 25mm by 50mm battens. They work really well for candles. So I've kind of cobbled some together here. Again, they're going to be on the speaker stand, so they've got the little speaker stand, a top hat tripod mounts screwed into there as well. So again, I can transport the stand and this separately. This will have candles on, but on the display site, I can set the tripod up, put this on, lock it in, and away we go. The other thing you might see on here are these little black things. These little black things are cable tie mounts. I got these off Amazon. I will show you some a little bit closer up to the camera for you guys to see. I got 2 different sizes. I bought some first that were a bit too small, so I went back and bought some other ones, but here they are. They're little plastic things with a screw hole in, so you can screw that onto the wood and then you can put a cable tie through it. You can get ones where it's just like a double-sided sticky tape thing and stick up. No, I wanted something more secure. So I say these will just take a little screw them in, put the candle up against it, put a cable tie around it and pull it tight. Obviously not too tight because we don't want to choke the candle. So yeah, I got 2 different sizes of these. These first ones were a little bit small for most of my candles. So I then went back to Amazon and got 150 because that's the quantity they come in. Slightly bigger ones like that. So I have 2 different sizes, but actually I've been able to use both because I've got some thinner candles, some 14mm candles, which these ones work quite well on, and my bigger 22mm candles, I think the Yogi Storms are, they work really well on that. So that's what those black things are there. I've already screwed some in on that one and on obviously that one. The other way you can do it, of course, if you don't have this, you can tape candles, or you could just, I mean, I could cable tie that directly to the wood, or I could use gaffer tape, duct tape to attach the candles directly to that. I wanted to try these this time, and so far on this one I've started, they're working really well. I really quite like them. So yeah, these are just from Amazon, fairly cheap. You could probably 3D print these as well. If 3D printer guys here, we were talking about 3D printing the other day, I'm sure you can 3D print those as well quite easily. So yeah, cable tie mounts, but the ones that are screwed on rather than the ones with double-sided sticky tape. So that's what those are, and that's what we've been using. Let's see what we're up to with chat. Cakes, okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute then, Dale. Mom Resort TV 1 says, Marko, hello, Jane. Excuse me, I've got a sore throat, bear with me. Welcome in, Jane. Thanks for being here. Hope you and Jerry are keeping well over there in the States. Good to have your company here this evening. Okay, so Dale was talking about what's the best way to fuse cakes together. And I know this is a really popular thing. It's quite a popular thing, again, over in the States, where you get a number of cakes. Let me grab a cake here. This is a cake or a barrage. And what you do is, well, what a lot of people in America do that I've seen is they get a big board, they glue these down onto the boards, hot glue them down onto the boards, and then the idea is fuse them all together. You light one fuse and it kind of goes through them all. And you can do that. It's not something I do, but I know a lot of people do that. So what's the best way to fuse them together? talking about hobby fuse or visco fuse. It's challenging because you need to know how quick your fuse is. You can get fuse that burns at different rates. Typically over here, I think it's probably the same in the States, green visco usually burns at 1 centimetre a second. So if you've got 100 centimetres of that, a metre, it's going to take 100 seconds to burn through all that. You can get pink visco, which is faster, or quick visco, which is sort of 10 times faster than that. So you need to know your rate. If you're going to be fusing cakes together on a board, you need to know how fast your fuse burns. If you don't know, do a little test. That's cut a little piece off, like a 10 centimetre section, secure it down, tape it down, light one end, see how long it takes to burn that little section. Film it if you want to, and then you can sort of review the footage and see exactly how long it takes. So you need to know that first of all. The next thing you need to know is how long your cakes are going to last. So, you know, if your cake, this one is just one I just happened to pick up. This is Ebb and Flow. This is new for 2024 from Prestigious Pyrotechnics. If you might have seen my video of this earlier in the week, last week in fact, on my channel. The duration of this is currently all over the place. I had one that lasted 5 seconds. I had one that lasted 40 seconds. So you kind of need your cakes to be consistent. Once you know that, if you've got a cake that lasts 30 seconds, then you need to have a 30 centimetre piece of visco fuse between one and the other, in theory, so that it will take 30 seconds to burn across to the next one whilst this cake is firing. That's the theory. Again, with consumer cakes, they're not always perfectly timed. You can never get it exact. You might get some crossover, you might get a bit of dark sky. The other way you can do it, or another way, if your cake has got both a main fuse and a reserve fuse, you can connect the reserve fuse, that's kind of like the output if you like, from this one to the next one, so that once this cake finishes firing, it will light that reserve fuse and fire your next cake. That's ways you can do it. It's not the best ways to do it. It's not something I do or particularly recommend, just having that single fuse running between all your cakes, because you have no way of stopping your show. If there's a problem you need to stop your show, once you've lit that single fuse and it's snaking between all the cakes, you have absolutely no way to stop it. So ideally, if you've got an electronic firing system, even a cheap one, that's probably safer, and that's what I'd recommend. But if you want to do it this way and glue all your cakes down, again, I don't like gluing cakes down because they're a pain to get off. The way I do cakes on boards, which you'll see in another live stream, because I've got to do that on some boards for the football pitch because I can't hammer and stake anything into the ground. I use frame ties. I will be using frame ties. These kind of things, you get them from building supplies. They can screw down into my wood. I can put the cake in between them and then gaffer tape around that, and there's no way that cake's going to go anywhere. But it means that because I'm not gluing stuff down to the ground, the cakes can come off really easily at the end. I can just slice down the gaffer tape, take the cake out, unscrew the ties, everything I can reuse again. So different ways of doing it. But if you are going to use a single fuse between all your cakes, it's not ideal. It's not something I personally recommend or something that I actually do, but it is doable. I have seen it done. What you do need to be careful of is trying to protect your fuse as well between cakes, because you could get sparks from cakes falling and igniting further along your fuse. So try and protect it if you can with some aluminium foil tape or something like that, just to protect it. But daisy chaining cakes like that using hobby fuse or visco fuse, not really something I do. It's not the safest and the neatest way of doing it, but I do know people do it. So hopefully that's helped a little bit. Dale, T-Tail Mary Ellen is here. I love the ingenuity you use to put these fireworks in a display. Thanks, T-Tail Mary Ellen. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do like to be sort of creative and think outside the box a little bit. And this display I'm doing in Manchester on November the 5th, bonfire night over here. It's going to be the first time that I've done one actually on a football pitch where I can't hammer anything into the ground. So that's made me kind of think about, right, okay, why do I hammer things into the ground? What am I trying to achieve? How can I do that in another way but still being safe? And the reason I hammer stuff into the ground is to stop fireworks toppling over. You hammer a stake into the ground, you put a firework up against it, you tape round it or you cable tie around it or whatever, and that firework then can't fall over. So I need to be able to do that without hammering anything into the ground. And that's why I'm using candle frames, that's why I'm using fountain boards, and that's why I'm going to be using big boards for my cakes as well. We're going to be assembling those cake boards later on in the week, probably on the stream at some point as well. So if you want to know more about cakes and securing cakes to boards and things like that, then that's coming up in a future stream in the next few days. So Dale says, appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, you're most welcome, Dale. I hope that's hope there's some little handy hints there, some helpful advice and and information. Okay, so yeah, candle frames. That's what we're up to at the moment. I did put a little bracket in here as well because I'm going to have a 56 shot candle on here. Just want to support it a little bit underneath, so that will sit on there and I can tape around that as well. So as I say, you can either gaffer tape, duct tape candles to these. You can cable tie them. If you're going to cable tie candles to anything, you've got to make sure not to over tighten them. If you over tighten the cable ties, which is really easy to do, you risk actually deforming the tube, and you can basically choke the tube, so it means the shots can't get out. The diameter's not there all the way down the tube, and that can mean that the little bombettes inside explode in the tube and blow your candle to pieces or fire out in all sorts of directions. So if you are going to cable tie them, don't over tighten them. I kind of use a mixture. Sometimes I cable tie, sometimes I use gaffer tape, sometimes I use the two. On these frames I'm using primarily cable ties, but I am going to put a little bit of gaffer tape over those as well. Because I don't want to over tighten these cable ties. The cable ties are there to stop the candle falling off, but in theory these candles still could move up and down because of the recoil of these candles in these cable ties. So by putting a little bit of gaffer tape over where I've cable tied as well, it just prevents that movement. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, really. So that's the plan. On this one that I've kind of started, I'll just talk you through what I've got. Hopefully you guys can see it on the stream. There's quite a lot to get in, so I had to move the camera a bit further back. But we were talking about Yorgi fireworks. Somebody was mentioning, do I use Yorgi products? Yes, I do. They're Polish Yorgi, but they are available. Some of them are available here in the UK, and I do like to use them. I think they're really good. I think there's a good range. So on here we've got 2 Storm 3 candles, 2 Storm 4 candles. What's the difference? They basically do coloured shots, coloured pearls. The Storm 3s, I think it's the 3s, have a here we are. Let's read the descriptions and then we can see the difference. So Storm 3, Yorgi do a Storm 1, Storm 2, a Storm 3 and a Storm 4. These are the Storm 3s and Storm 4. Storm 3, the effects are described as red, green, yellow and silver tail. So they're 10 shot candle. I think they're 10 shot, or are they 8 shot? 8 shot, and they're 21mm, not 22mm. There we go. 8 shot Roman candle, red, green and yellow pearls with silver tails, and they're quite nice thick comet tails on these, which I really like. The Storm 4 ones, red, lemon, blue and purple stars, so some more unusual colours in these, but they don't have, sadly, the comet tails, so we're going to be using both. Product codes on these, JRC 35/3 for the Storm 3 and JRC 35/4 for the Storm 4. They're quite long candles. The category F2, which is good, so you can use them in smaller displays. That's one of the challenges I find with when you start getting to bigger candles like this, you know, over 20mm caliber and above and lengthwise, they tend to go up to category F3, so it limits what you can do with them. But these are category F2. I'm going to be using them in both of my displays. I think I'm using 4 of each of these in my Liverpool display in V formation. So either side of the sight going up in Vs. For my Liverpool display, which is what these are for, I'm using 2, 4, 6 of each of these. So this is going to be, you will have seen, you won't see my fountain board yet because I haven't built the fountain boards for this. There's going to be 5 fountain boards along the front of this Manchester display. There's going to be 3 of these. This is going to be in the centre, kind of behind the fountain boards, and then these ones are going to be on the outer sides. The other way round, obviously, that's the other thing as well. When you do candle boards and things like this, this isn't the audience side. The audience side is the other side of this board. So in reality, what the audience are going to see is going to be that side of things. Why do I do it that way? Well, because if one of these candles was to fall off, it shouldn't do, but if it was, it would fall away from the audience. If these are on the audience side, if this fell off, it could fall forward. Well, it can't fall backwards because of the wood behind it. It would fall forwards, potentially fire towards the audience, which I don't want. So I always do the candles on the opposite side to the audience. So yeah, Storm 3, Storm 4s. On this show, there's going to be 2 on each of these going off on Vs, all firing together, which should look quite good. So those are some Yorgi candles that we've got on here. Let's just put these back down there. Actually, they were from my set over here. I want to get them mixed up. I've also got some smaller Yorgi spinner candles. These are again cheap as chips. They come in a pack of 4. and they are 8-shot again. Spinner candles. The product code on here, the Yorgi product code is JLC34/1. Slightly smaller caliber. These are 14mm caliber, so not as big or indeed as long as a Storm 3 and 4s. And what these do, these just send out like silver swirling tourbillons. So on their own, not very impressive. Use them in multiples and they become a bit more impressive. So on each of these candle frames, there's going to be 3 of these in like a W formation going up on each. And again, they're all going to be firing off together. So that should look quite nice along the width of my display. My display firing sight width on this one, I think, is about 16 meters. So these are going to be 8 meters or so apart. That one will be in the center. This one's going to be 8 meters that way. That one's going to be 8 meters that way. So that's the Yorgi products that are going to be on these frames. I've also got, let me put these ones down here out of the way. I've also got some 56-shot candles. These are from Evolution Fireworks. I managed to pick them up really quite cheap. I haven't actually fired Evolution 56-shot candles before, so we'll see what they're like. They came in a pack of 4 different effect candles. These are whistle ones. They just send up lots of whistles. So it's a bit like one of those little pen lid cakes, those missile cakes, but obviously without the little plastic missiles, because the last thing I want to be doing a fireworks show on a football pitch is then have to spend hours, if not days, going over the football pitch picking up lots of little plastic pen lids from the missiles. So this is kind of like an alternative. So there's going to be 3 of those on these firing upwards vertically. I say these came as a pack of 4. It comes with a whistle one. It comes with a white silver mine one, a red mine, a red mine one, and a green crackling one. So that's the green crackling one. They're by Evolution Fireworks. They're probably available to buy individually as well, but I got them in packs of 4 and I bought quite a few packs of them. 84 grams net explosive content, so not massively big in terms of their NEC. I think they're all slightly different. Yeah, like, so for example, the whistle one is 106.4 grams net explosive content. But again, the category F2, so they're suitable for smaller displays. I'm going to be using some on my Liverpool display and some on my Manchester display. So the whistle ones I'm going to be using on the Manchester display, along with either, and I haven't quite decided yet, the green crackle ones or the red mines. We'll decide as we go. Oh, and there is also going to be some more Yorgi candles, just thinking about it. I've got these. These are really nice. These are Yorgi candle barrages. This is candle barrage 1. They do candle barrage 2 and candle barrage 3. They are 14mm caliber, so the same caliber as these super spinners, but whereas the super spinners are 8-shot, this is 96-shot. These are really quite impressive. So I've got a couple of those. They're going to be going on the center one, firing outwards like that. So yes, I did have another Yorgi product on there. And the eagle-eyed among you might also spot this. This is from Vivid Pyrotechnics. Sadly, these aren't available at the moment. Vivid stopped bringing them in, which is a shame because they did some amazing 56-shot candles. This is the 56-shot special white strobe. I had a couple left over. So there's going to be one on this frame and one on this frame, and they're at slightly greater angles than the others. So the idea is they're going to kind of cross over my display. And these produce lovely strobing, bright white strobing stars. So Vivid's 56-shot candles, really good. Hopefully they will bring them back. I've heard rumours that they want to start bringing them back in. They haven't been bringing any in for the last 3 or 4 years. So kind of these like gold dust in the UK at the moment. There are a few retailers that still have a few left, but they are really quite hard to come by, any Vivid 56-shot candles. So really excited to use them in this display. Let's catch up on chat though. Let's have a look. Do you get your Yorgi products direct from a supplier, or is there a retail shop that stocks a lot of it? So all Yorgi products in the UK, they're all imported by, let me check, let me triple check before I say the name in case I get it wrong. Yeah, they're all imported by First Galaxy Fireworks in Nottingham, and then they in turn redistribute them to other retailers. So you can get these from various retailers, but they're all imported by one company. So not all retailers stock Yorgi products, and I've not yet found a retailer that stocks like a really big range of Yorgi products. So some of my Yorgi products are from one retailer, some are from another. In fact, I've used 3 different retailers to get all my Yorgi products for these 2 displays this year, because nobody sort of sells the whole range, which is a shame, because Yorgi do an amazing range, and hopefully we'll see more stuff in the UK from Yorgi in the future, I hope, because it's good stuff and actually it's relatively inexpensive. So hope that answers your question. Welcome in those Squows and Frozen. Good to have you here again. Pyro Boy 101 is here. Evening Marko, hello from Great Yarmouth. Hello to Great Yarmouth. Is it raining there like it is in Manchester? It's been raining here all day. Actually, no, that's a lie. It hasn't been raining here all day. It's been quite nice here all day. This evening it's been raining all evening. So, Harry Elston says, hi, are you going to video your displays in Liverpool and Manchester? I certainly are. I certainly am. Sounded very gangster rappy, didn't I? I certainly are. I certainly am going to be filming them, and they will appear on my channel in a week or two's time. I'm not going to live stream them. Why? Well, because I'm going to be firing these displays, and really, from a safety point of view, when I'm firing a display, I need to be fully focused on the display, not whether the live stream is working, not reading the chat and all those kind of things. So I hope you guys understand that. I'm sure you do. But yeah, I will be filming them in 4K from multiple angles and all those kind of things. I'll edit them and get those out on my channel as well. So you'll be able to see this sort of the culmination of all this work from these behind the scenes, live from my garage prep streams in the coming weeks on my channel. Heather Springer is here. Hello, Heather. Welcome back. Nice to have you here. Pyro Boy says, no, thank goodness. I think we talk about rain there. Yeah, it does rain a lot here in Manchester. Yes, I know it doesn't rain quite as much down over in Norfolk way. My wife is from Norfolk. In fact, my wife's brother lives in Great Yarmouth, so I do have sort of connections with that part of the UK. And yes, it is you do have generally better weather down there than we do here in Manchester. But hey, we're nice and dry in my garage. I'd like to say nice and warm in my garage, but we're nice and dry anyway. What's your personal favourite Hawk variant rocket in the UK right now? Oh dear. That is a really good question. So those who don't know, Hawk rockets, first brought in by Bright Star, I think, several decades ago. Smallish rockets, like 68 grams of powder, and they were really cheap, and they became really popular that for years after, and still to this day, every sort of retailer, every sort of brand has their own Hawk variant version. They're all kind of a bit much of a muchness. I don't know if I have a particular favourite one. I have fired some various different ones on my channel. You'll find reviews on them. I did the Lightning Hawks from Prestigious Pyrotechnics last year. They were pretty good. I did Vivid's Reapers last year. Was it Reapers or Hellfires? I can't remember which is whichever their Hawk variant is. I've done those. So Hawk rockets in general don't really do an awful lot for me because they are pretty much all much of a muchness. But yeah, there are some reviews of them on my channel. I don't think I can pin them down to my favourite variant. I guess if I'm being nostalgic, probably the original was the best, as is so often the case. Okay, so that's kind of what we've got on here. So we've got the Yorgi Storm 3, Storm 4s, the spinners, the Evolution 56 shot ones, and the lovely Vivid ones. In terms of angles, what angles have I chosen? How have I worked out what angles I can do? Candles work great if you're doing them in multiples. Candles work great if you do them at angles. In terms of what angle do you do, that's going to depend very much on the width you have available on your firing sight and either side of your firing sight, because obviously you don't want to angle your candles in such a way that they're going to potentially fall on people or buildings or trees or cars or whatever. So there is no kind of right and wrong answer in terms of what angle to do. It will very much depend on your firing sight. I do like symmetry though, so I have kind of measured these and they're all about the same. The angles I've done on here, I think these are 20 degrees. Actually, no, I think the ones in the centre are 20. I think the outer ones are slightly more. They've worked out about 22 degrees. I was aiming for 20, but you know, it's not an exact science. And when you're cutting wood and stuff and trying to get the right angles, you can sometimes be a degree or two out. But these are basically 22 on these ones. I think these outer ones where I've got the Vivid ones, I'll have the Vivid because I want those at more of an angle because they're going to cross over the display. They are slightly more. They might be 30 degrees. How do you measure your degrees? Your angles? There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can use a proper old school protractor like that to get your angles. I tend to use that when I sort of mark it out. The way I get my angles is I get a big piece of cardboard, put it on the floor, and lay my candles on it first, work out kind of, do they all fit, where they're going to go, what sort of angles we're going to do, draw them all out, use the protractor to sort of work out the angles, and then I build it. And then I use something really cool, and you can get these off the internet, off Amazon. This is a digital inclinometer. A really, really useful thing. You turn it on, it shows you a number, and it's basically the angle that you've got this tilted at. And you can see that that changes as I tilt it. So it's really useful. In theory, if you stand it up against here, I mean, my carpet and my flooring in here isn't exactly level, but if I stand it there, you could say that's saying 1.15 degrees. It is vertical, but of course my floor isn't level here. But I can then put this on the side here and see that I've got that at, well, it's 21.35, so 20 degrees. This one should be very similar on this side. That's saying 20.25. Again on these ones, so this should be close to 0. Oh, look at that, 0.05 degrees on the center, so that's quite accurate. This one is 23.05 degrees to 23 degrees. The one on this side should be similar, 23.6. And then this sort of extremer one for the vivid ones is 33.8 on that. Really, really useful, really quite cheap. These maybe £15, something like that, off Amazon. Digital inclinometers, really useful if you're setting up angles, not just on candles, oh that rhymes, angles on candles, but other effects, single shots, things like that. I use this when I'm doing professional displays and my own stuff as well. Really, really useful, digital inclinometers. So that's what I've been using to make sure my angles are kind of even, equal. Let's catch up a little bit on chat. And Paraboy says, yeah, very hard to decide. I like Breakout by Gemstone. Yes, another variant there of Hawk. Craig Whiteman is here. Evening all. YouTube didn't give you a notification about my stream. Make sure, excuse me, when you subscribe to the channel and enable notifications, by default, it only enables sub notifications. You need to check that little bell icon and make sure it's set to all notifications rather than what works for me or whatever it's called. So make sure you enable all notifications, not just some notifications. And that way you'll know when I upload videos, when I go live, because I know a lot of streamers have a schedule and they always stream at a certain time on a certain day. I don't do that. I'm kind of a bit more ad hoc. So if you want to know when I go live like this, then you need to enable notifications. Subscribe first of all and enable notifications. That way YouTube will send you a little email whenever I go live or whenever I'm about to go live. In fact, I think you can even set it to remind you as well. So if I've scheduled the stream, I think you get a notification half an hour in advance before I actually go live by YouTube. Or if I schedule a stream a number of hours or days in advance, there's a little button that says remind me. You can click that and YouTube will notify you when I do actually go live. So what have you missed? You've not missed a lot. I haven't actually done anything yet. I've just talked for the past 35 minutes, but hey, that's what it's all about. So welcome in, Craig. You can of course always rewatch this stream at a later stage to see the bits you missed at the start. You can actually rewind this stream right now because DVR is enabled, so you can go back and start watching this stream from the start right now. That's the benefit of YouTube. Let's have a look. Baby Lisa says hello again. Hello Lisa again. You can also get digital protractors that are like yes you can. I have seen those as well and they work kind of quite well as well. Digital protractors, so it's like kind of like two bits and you kind of open them apart and it'll show you what angle you've got. So yeah, that works as well. Yeah, that's right. A film clapperboard thing. Yes, the basic spirit level. And yes, absolutely. That's another way of doing it. Squozen, frozen. Baby Lisa's bought some toffee apples for bonfire night. You've never tried toffee apples before. You don't know what you're missing. Guys, what are your favourite sort of snacks and food and stuff for bonfire night? Toffee apples, yeah, that's one of them. Treacle toffee, I think, for me is up there. And parking. I know we talked about parking last year on the stream. Parking's a very northern thing in the UK. People down south don't really know what parking is. We talked about it on the stream. In fact, I think on my New Year stream, or was it my bonfire night? I think it might have been my bonfire night stream last year. We actually had some parking on the stream. Really nice cake. But those, yeah, parking and treacle toffee are probably my two go-to things for bonfire night, as well, of course, as a jacket potato. Those of you regular on my channel will know all about that. Those of you who don't, well, you're in for a treat come New Year's Eve. And there we go, yeah, jacket potatoes with cheese, says baby Lisa. She also said, I heard fireworks after 11 p.m, kept going on until 12 a.m. Yes, of course, this time of year, fireworks are more widely available in shops. Specialist retailers, of course, can sell them all year round, but supermarkets and things are only allowed to sell them for a very limited time in the run up to bonfire night, which we are now in. And so, yeah, people do go out, buy fireworks and let them off. And it is illegal after 11 o'clock at night, unless it is bonfire night itself, when you can do them up till midnight. Or if it's Diwali, which I think is the 1st of November, you can do them up till midnight. Or if it's Chinese New Year, you can do them up till midnight. Or if it's New Year's Eve, you can do them up till 1 a.m. But every other night of the year, you can only legally do fireworks up till 11 p.m. From 7 o'clock in the morning. So from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m, you can't legally do fireworks here in the UK on most nights of the year. And Bulletproof Mum says, some of us Southerners make parking. Yes, I remember you telling me that. Yes, our homemade parking, I imagine, is amazing. My wife's never attempted, she does do baking, she's never attempted parking yet, but yeah, that's on my list of things for her to hopefully one day bake for me. We shall see. Okay, so that's kind of, I think, where we were up to. We've kind of talked about what we're going to be doing. I did sort of start to prep this one off stream. It's pretty messy at the moment because it's got all the cable ties here, and I will obviously trim those off and make that neater. I was just seeing if everything kind of fitted on there where I wanted. So we're going to mirror that on this side, which I think we will start doing now, seeing as we've been streaming 40 minutes and not actually done anything yet. Which, if you're new to my channel, this is a regular thing. Whenever I stream all these behind the scenes prep stuff, I end up chatting to you guys and getting very little done. So I end up having to do loads off stream to actually catch up. So I did it the other way around this time. I thought, let's do some off stream first, and then I'm ahead. So that's where we're up to. And of course, I will be dipping in and out of chat as well, and interacting with you guys as well. Bulletproof Mum says, I usually offer a choice of hot dogs, chili, and jacket potatoes. Oh, hot dogs as well, yeah. It's just, there's just something nice about having hot food. When you're stood outside watching fireworks and it's cold and it's in November, you know, getting some hot food in you, whether that's a hot dog or a jacket potato or something like that, is real comfort food. It's really warming. It's really nice. So, right. So on this one, then we're going to basically mirror what we've got here. So let's get the Storm 3s and the Storm 4s on first. So I need a couple of Storm 3s and a couple of Storm 4s. The other thing as well with Roman candles is make sure you get them the right way round. Sometimes it can be quite tricky, especially in the dark if you've not looked at them in advance, to know which is the top and which is the bottom. So one of my little hints is, if you're using Roman candles, or really any fireworks, inspect them, look at them in the daylight. If you buy a box of fireworks, get them all out in the daytime, have a good look at them, read all the safety instructions, read the effects, make sure you've got the minimum safety distance for spectators, and more importantly, make sure with candles you get them the right way round. These are really good because they have little yellow labels on the top with a directional arrow showing you that's the way the effects are going to protrude. But it can be quite easy to put your candles upside down, and then that's really not great if that happens. So make sure you get them the right way. Right, so we're going to do some Storm 4s on here. Let's get a couple of these, and let's get some cable ties. So I'm cable tying these on to start with, and then I'll put a little bit of gaffer tape over the cable ties just to stop any vertical movement from the recoil of the candles. So let's do, what are we doing? Storm 4s first. Let's do some Storm 4s. So I'm going to put my cable ties on here, ready to go. On this one, like this, and this one here. And I appreciate I'm going to have my back to the camera quite a bit tonight, but I was like, how can I actually do this? Because like if I did it the other way around where I can work on them, you're not going to see what I'm actually doing. So I thought it'd be better for you to see what I'm doing, even though you only see the back of my head, which, you know, I'm sure we can deal with. Let's have a look. Wide angle camera. Yes, it is fairly wide tonight, so we can kind of see all this lot. Let's have a look. Jacket potato with cheese takes me 1 hour and 45 minutes. Really? Here's a little tip. It's a non-firework tip. So we're going to go into a food tip now. Hey, we talked about washing machines on the other live stream. I love these. We go off on such tangents on these live streams. It's great. We talk about washing machine ringtones on the other one. So a little tip. Microwave your jacket potato first and then finish it off in the oven. You can microwave for like 10 minutes. Make sure you stab it first with a fork so it doesn't go bang in the... Oh, I'm talking about explosions of fireworks, aren't we? Put some bricks in it, some with a fork, in the microwave, 10 minutes, and then put it in the oven. It won't take you an hour and 45. You'll have a lovely, nice soft jacket potato on the inside, but lovely and crisp on the outside. So little hint there, non-firework hint, thrown in free of charge. Well, these streams are free anyway. I don't think I charge for this advice. Andy Espine is here. Says, "Hey Marco, hi Andy, welcome in." Craig says we are doing jacket potatoes, cheese, beans, chili and hot dogs as well for my daughter's 6th birthday on the 16th of November, praying for decent weather. Oh, that's great. It's great that your daughter's birthday is around bonfire night so you can have fireworks and stuff. That's great. Yeah, and hopefully some good weather for you there as well. Baby Lisa's got college tomorrow. Well, Baby Lisa, don't be late to bed tonight, I would suggest. I don't know how long we're going to go tonight, but it is 10:15, so if you've got college in the morning, don't stay up too late, would be my advice there. Squares and Frozen, I did my home bonfire night display last night, as I'll be crewing next weekend. I warned every neighbour who was in, and for the first time I had complaints. Of course, it was the people who weren't in. I mean, yeah, this is it. You can't please everyone. You're always going to get some people that are going to complain about fireworks, even if you did them on bonfire night. I know yours weren't on bonfire night, and you did the right thing of notifying neighbours as best you could. But even if you'd done it on bonfire night, you would have still got complaints. I've had complaints before when I've done fireworks, even though I've tried to notify people. What can you do? What can you do? It's just the way of the world. Unfortunately, we have to live with it. At the end of the day, you weren't doing anything illegal unless you were doing them after 11 o'clock at night, but I'm sure you weren't. So, you did what you could. You can't warn everyone. If they're out, they're out. What can you do? So, there we go. Oh, Baby Lisa just put her jacket potato in the oven. Okay, great. Also, how to use a carrot to make sparklers safe for kids. Yes, we did that on one of my live streams, didn't we? How we can use a carrot to make sparklers a little bit easier for younger children. So yes, I don't know, I can't remember which live stream we did that on. Was that Bonfire Night last year? I think it probably would have been Bonfire Night one rather than a New Year's one. So it might have been Bonfire Night last year, possibly the year before. I don't know, but it'll be on my channel somewhere. I should snip that bit out and do it like as a YouTube short or something at some point. Anyway, right. Let's get these candles in. So we're doing Storm 4s first, and they're going to sit on these ones here. I'm going to cable tie this one in first, but I'm just going to hold this one in place just so I can get it. So I'm just going to be in front of the camera a second, guys, whilst I just get the right positioning on these. That one's kind of okay like that. I'm going to cable tie this top one in. Again, not over tightening it. Do one down here. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. And then this one as well. So tight enough that it's not going to fall out, but I'm not over tightening it to the point where I can compress this cardboard tube and potentially cause a misfire. So there's the first Storm 4. Let's get a few more cable ties on the other side. I realise I've got two different thicknesses of cable tie in this pack. That's interesting. I will have probably put some in at some point that were the wrong thickness, but that's fine. We can manage. Okay, so let's get these bits in first. Like that. Get the candle in place, make sure it's the right way round. That's good. And then I need more hands for this really. Or, of course, the other way I could do it would be to do it, lay it flat rather than do it actually on the stand. That would have been a lot easier. But it'd be more difficult to get it on camera. So it's the sacrifices we make for the sake of making a good video on YouTube. Okay, and then one here. Like so. So those are nicely secured on there. Those are the 2 Storm 4s. Let's catch up on chat. Yeah, I was firing my finale at 9:15, so nowhere near the deadline. Yeah, absolutely. Some mad random person is here again. Welcome back, some mad random person. Evening, Mark. I'm looking forward to heading down. See Neil at Blackpool Fireworks on Friday. Yes, I saw Neil on... What day did I see Neil on this last week? I can't remember. He was doing a delivery for me, and a hard-working guy. He delivered my fireworks. I think it was about 11:15 at night, and he'd still got another delivery to do after that, and then he still had to go and restock, so he was like working all night. So hard-working guy, Neil from Blackpool Fireworks. If you're watching, I don't know if you are, but hello, Neil. Thanks for all that you do. So yeah, Neil, top bloke from Blackpool Fireworks. If you're in the Blackpool area and you need fireworks, Blackpool Fireworks sell fireworks all year round. Go check them out. Run by a guy called Neil, lovely guy. Tell him Marko said hi, and I'm sure he'll sort you out with some cracking fireworks. Right, again, excuse me, my throat's been really bad this last week. It's getting better, so it's better than it was when I streamed on Thursday and Friday, but still not 100%. I'm still sniffly, still got a bit of a cold hanging around, so thanks for bearing with me on that. Right, Storm 3s then now. Let's get these in. So these are going up right next to the Storm 4s. Let's get the cable ties in place first. There's one. There's two. So yes, if you weren't here on the stream earlier, these are little cable tie mounts, cable tie beds that you can get from like Amazon, places like that, hardware stores. They're screwed on rather than stick-on ones. So you can screw that onto your wood, put your cable tie through there, and it works really well. So first time I'm actually using them this year. I haven't actually used them before. Typically I would just gaffer tape candles to wood or use cable ties or a combination of both. Because of the volume of candles I'm having on these, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So trying this year, and so far it's working quite well. So there's cable ties on that side. Let's get the Storm 3 candle in here, like that. That's good there. Hold that in place and get the first one in. One-handed. There we go. Get the bottom one in. There we go. And this one here. In terms of how many cable ties should you do on a candle? It's a question I get asked a lot. It depends on the size of your candle. Smaller candles probably only need 2. I'd say 2 is a minimum on any candle. If you just do 1, then there's a risk that the candle could wobble around. 2 will keep it straight and rigid. Smaller candles, 2 minimum. Candles like this, 3 minimum. Bigger candles, Hong Kong candles, for example, those kind of things, 30mm candles, F3 stuff, more than 3. Right, let's come this side and get these ones on here. Anyway, I hope you guys have all been having a good Sunday today. I've been resting from working a 12-hour event yesterday, which was tiring. But I hope you guys have a nice, relaxing weekend. Let me know in the chat what you've been up to. And I'll catch up on some chat as well. Charlie808, welcome in, Charlie808. Don't think I said hello to you yet, so welcome in. Neil is a top bloke with a great selection of gear. Highly recommend a trip to Blackpool Fireworks. Yeah. I say, Neil, I have got some of my products. These Yogi candles that we've been talking about a lot, these Storm 3, Storm 4s are actually from Blackpool Fireworks from Neil. So, yeah, top bloke. If you're in the Blackpool kind of area, Blackpool Fireworks, I would highly recommend you check them out. Baby Lisa says hashtag carrots. Yes, indeed. If you know, you know. I'll pass on your hello when I see him. Hope you haven't took all the Storm 3s, because how did you? Neil has got hundreds of Storm 3s and Storm 4s, I'm sure. I've only taken... I've taken quite a few, but I'm sure he's got some left. There we go, right. Alfie says hello, Mark. Hello, Alfie. Welcome in. Ollie, hello, welcome in. Ollie Clacky's here. Hi, Marco. Sorry to miss the start of your stream. Can you catch me up with what you're doing tonight, please? We're doing candle frames for my display on Bonfire Night in Manchester. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a display in Liverpool on the 3rd of November, Sunday the 3rd, a week tonight, and then one on Bonfire Night itself in Manchester. The one in Manchester is being done on a football pitch. It's a professional football pitch, and so I can't hammer things into the ground as I would normally do for candles and cakes and things like that to secure them. So I'm having to do things slightly different for that display. So I'm making some candle frames for that. They're mounted on speaker stands, or in this case in the centre a lighting stand. Same kind of thing, just a little bit bigger than a speaker stand, and attaching them to that. So none of my candles are going to be on the floor. My fountains are all going to be on fountain tables, which I'm going to assemble on another stream coming up. And my cakes are obviously not going to be staked into the ground. They're going to be on OSB boards with frame ties and things like that. And we'll show you all that on future streams over the next week. So that's what we're doing tonight. I'm setting up my candle frames for my Manchester display. There's going to be 3 of them. This one's going to be in the centre. This one's going to be 8 metres that way. That one's going to be 8 metres that way. All kind of firing stuff in V's and W's and things like that. So that's what we're doing on this stream. I made a start on this one before the stream. If you're thinking, wow, he's only been streaming an hour and 20 minutes, and look, he's got loads done. That was all done off the stream. In terms of what I've actually got done in the last hour and 20 minutes. 3 candles. 3 candles so far, folks. Oh, I love this. It's great fun. I get nothing done. I'm so unproductive on these streams, but I know you guys have a lot of fun as well and learn stuff as well, and I have fun doing this. So thanks for your company. We've got 7 people watching now. I appreciate it. Sunday night. A lot of people have work in the morning and stuff. I'm fortunate in that I'm self-employed, so I can kind of pick and choose what hours I do. I did a 12-hour day yesterday, which was a bit of a kill. Okay, so let's just catch up on a little bit more chat. Bulletproof Mum, we spent the day decorating for Halloween. Yes, of course, it's Halloween coming up as well. Lots of people do things for that. I don't really kind of do the whole Halloween thing, probably because it's so close to Bonfire Night. My focus is always on Bonfire Night and not getting distracted by Halloween and things like that. But I know Halloween is a big thing, so yeah. Andy Aspine went on a 14.17 kilometre bike ride today. Wow, very good. So Andy also says, I live in Liverpool, where are you going to be? So if you're familiar with, I lived in Liverpool for a decade and worked in Liverpool for a decade. If you're familiar with where the cathedral is, the Anglican Cathedral, over the road from that, there's a little church called St. James in the City. And that's where I'm going to be doing my display. It's a really tight site. It's a very tight site. So I am limited with what fireworks I can do. I can't do any like F3 stuff because I just don't have the space. I also sort of limit myself. I don't do the big bore F2 stuff. But I can still do impressive displays on that site. If you want to check them out, my previous year's ones on my channel, they're there for you to see. And on the 2 live streams we did on Thursday and Friday, we set up the fountain tables. They're going to be across the front of the site for that. Lots more prep I still need to do for that. I've got to prep cakes and things for that, which I'll be doing this next week. This, I've now switched to my other display. This is for my display in Manchester, where I'm using candle frames. I'm still using candles in Liverpool, but I don't need to have all these frames. I can just do them on stakes in the ground at the angles that I want, actually on the site, which is a lot quicker. This takes a lot more prep, but it's what I've got to do because I can't hammer stuff into the football pitch. So that's where we're up to. Can I recommend the best fireworks to get this bonfire night? The best fireworks you can get for bonfire night will be from your local specialist retailer. Yes, you can get fireworks in your supermarket, well, most supermarkets, not all of them. To be honest, most of those are overpriced and not very good. Well, some of them are good, but they're overpriced. The best fireworks you can get for bonfire night are going to be in your local specialist all year round stockist. In terms of what I would go for if I had to buy from a supermarket, there's a low noise fountain pack which is really nice called Bright Lights. That's available in Tesco. You get 5 fountains, 6 fountains, 5 fountains for, I think it's £30 now. It used to be 25. It's gone up a bit. That's quite good. Little low noise things if you want to do a low noise display for little kids, things like that. That's a good choice. Aldi and Lidl can sometimes be okay, relatively cheap. They do sort of multi-buy offers where you can get like a selection box and a cake and some rockets or something for like 20 quid, 25 quid or whatever. But really, best value fireworks for bonfire night are going to be from your local all year round stockist. That would be my advice. Have you or anyone fired Magnetic Storm by Emperor fireworks? Or Pyrotechnology 68 shot? No, I haven't. I haven't fired either of those. Baby Lisa says, for the Halloween, we're probably going to get kids dressed, Halloween costumes knocking on my door. Don't answer it. Yeah, I mean, I just, because I may even end up streaming on bonfire night, on Halloween, because I've got so much to do, and Halloween is 31st, so it's coming up this week, isn't it? So yeah, I tend to not answer the door. I tend to turn lights off in the front of the house and stuff, and just so I can just get on and I'm not interrupted and stuff. But yeah, right, so let's get the 4th candle on. We've been going nearly an hour and a half, and we've done 3 candles. So the Yorgie Storm 3 is going on here next to the Storm 4. If I could get my hands on the Storm 2 and Storm 1, I'd use those as well. But this goes back to what we were saying a bit earlier. Yorgie products are really good, but I've yet to find a stockist in the UK that like stocks the entire range. Different stockists kind of pick and choose which Yorgie products they stock. So the Storm 3s and Storm 4s were from Blackpool Fireworks. The spinners, I think, were from Anfield Fireworks up in Liverpool. So yeah, I get different things from different suppliers. I sort of pick and choose. I know it's a lot easier to just go to one supplier and buy all your fireworks from them. For these displays, across these 2 displays, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4 different retailers. Or have I used 5? 4 or 5. So I can sort of handpick best bits from different retailers and kind of get something good as a result. So that's the disappointment of living in Scotland. We have about 3. None of them compare to, yes, those are the big ones, of course, yes. The fireworks shop in Preston, Galactic Fireworks, Jordan's, yeah, big ones like that. And they're great, and there are some really big all year round specialist retailers that have massive ranges. And I do use those, but I also like to support the smaller specialist fireworks shops that perhaps don't have a big range, but are trying to make it. And so I kind of want to support those small businesses as well. So a lot of my money goes to them as opposed to the bigger ones. But I do use the big ones as well. Let's have a little look. Hence why I'm driving down. It's worth it. Yes, always enjoy the drive. Better seeing the shops in person. Absolutely, yes. Some of the prices at Anfield are unreal, to be fair. Yes, they absolutely are. I don't particularly promote any retailers on my channel. I'm not sponsored or anything, so I don't like, oh, they'll sponsor me and I'll say this about them. But yes, I've got some amazing value pieces from Anfield Fireworks this year, including, you might have seen if you watch my other streams on setting up the fountain tables, the Hocus Pocus. Have I got a spare one here? No. Hocus Pocus from Brothers, Pyrotechnics. It went away for many years. It's back this year. Out of all the other places I've seen it, the best I've seen is like £8. Anfield Fireworks do it for 5, so I went and bought like a load, a whole box full. So there are some amazing prices there as well. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, if you go to Anfield Fireworks, say hello, say Mark says hi, Marko says hi. Cal is the guy that owns Anfield Fireworks, lovely guy, and he can sort you out with some fireworks, I'm sure. Right, and even with the Bright Star cost-saving measures, I'd still say the range is the best in terms. Yeah, and actually, yes, I'd forgotten about the range. Yeah, if you live near a range, then you can get fireworks. You get Bright Star fireworks from there, and they actually have a bigger range at the range than you'll get in supermarkets. Not as good value as it used to be a decade or so ago, but yeah, there are still some good pieces, relatively good pieces there from Bright Star. So if you have a range near you, then that's one to check out if you don't have a specialist retailer within your vicinity. Let's have a look. Baby Lee says, I love these live streams, it's too funny. Yes. Well, you know, I try and keep it light. Although all these TNT selection boxes do look decent for the price. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can shop around, and there's usually each year there's one or two little bits in the supermarkets that I think, yeah, actually that's not bad value. There's one, I think it's Aldi, might be a little, but I think it's Aldi that have like a 16 shot cake, 25 shot cake or something for like $5.99. Not bad. I mean, you can get cheaper cakes, but it's like, that's, if I was buying something from a supermarket, I needed a few extra cakes to bulk up a display, probably go for something like that. So you do need to hunt around though. If you are going to buy stuff from supermarkets, I'd say buy the smaller stuff, because they will sell like big barrages, but like £90 for a barrage, which you could get 3 of at a specialist retailer for that same price. So yeah, the stuff from the supermarkets, go for the lower end, the cheaper stuff in the supermarkets is better value than some of the higher end stuff that they charge like 90 plus quid for, which is extortionate in my view. But there we go. Yeah, right, okay, so we've got those 4 candles on. Let's get the 56 shot whistle one on from Evolution. So I'll put a little bracket on here just to support it, because there's a bit more weight in here. There's actually less power in this than in the Storm 3s and Storm 4s, because this is only 14 caliber. That's the diameter of the tubes. These are 21 diameter, so bigger shots from these, but there's more weight in this because there's more tubes. So I've just put that on the bottom just to support it better. I'll gaffer tape over the bottom as well, but I'm going to cable tie this with some slightly bigger cable ties. Where did I put my slightly longer ones? I think they're down here somewhere. Yeah, here they are. Slightly longer, slightly wider. So this one's going to go here, like that. I'm going to come this side. And let's get one around here, near the top. Like so. One near the bottom. Like that. And one in the middle. So yeah, 56 shots, like a whistling a candle, bit unusual. It's going to get a similar effect to the little missile pen lid cakes that you can get, but without the debris, because I'm doing this on a football pitch. Last thing I want to do is walk around and have to pick up lots of little plastic missiles the next day. So this is a way of achieving a similar effect, so some noise, some whistles, without those the debris. So there's going to be 3 of those on the 3 of these, all firing simultaneously. So that's on there now. I need to get the 3 little spinners. These come in a pack of 4, so I've used 3 on that one. So I need to open this pack of 4 to get 3 out of here. One thing I will say as well, another little tip, if you need multiple things, so if these come in packs of 4 and you need 8, so you need 2 packs, make sure you get them from the same batch if you possibly can. If you end up with different candles from different batches, or indeed different cakes from different batches, different fireworks, different fountains, they can be different. From year to year, products do change. The name stays the same, but the contents and the effects can change. So if you want the symmetry like I want, make sure you get all your fireworks from the same batch. So a little hint there, little handy hint. Whilst I'm opening these, let's catch up and chat. The cake is in the 3 for 25, so it's very decent for the money. Yes, absolutely. The bigger of the 2 selection boxes is all right, as are the shot tubes. Yes. See supermarket selling 500 gram cakes for like 80 quid. Yeah, it is crazy the prices that supermarket charge, but the smaller stuff in the ranges are generally better value. Never tried it myself because I don't like. Oh, we talked about the cake is Lidl. There we go. They do 3 for 25 on the 16-shot cake. Never tried it myself because I don't like standard brand in general. I only buy their fountains like Spectrum and Peacock as they are good. Yeah, I've got Spectrum. I'm trying to think what standard pieces I've got in my displays. I've got Spectrum, which is a jelly beans fountain in both my displays. In my Liverpool display, which is a small display, I've got some of the traffic light cones from standard. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all I've got standard wise these days. Standard are not the brand they used to be. Standard used to be like the brand in the UK back in the day, and they used to in fact be manufactured in the UK as well. Now everything's manufactured in China. There are still some good standard products, but it's not the same brand, sadly, that it once was, unfortunately. Right, so the spinner candles, these are from Yorgi, silver spinners, 14mm tubes, so smaller diameter than the Storms. They send up 8 shots of swirling to billions, basically. So I'm doing 3 on each because these are smaller. The Storms are going up in V's, so 3 sets of V's. These are going up as 3 sets of W's. And these are going on, one's going to go on there, one on here and one on there. So let's get some cable ties on those and get those cable tied in. I say I'll neaten this all off once it's all done and trim all the excess off these cable ties, and also put a little bit of gaffer wherever I've done a cable tie just to stop any lateral vertical movement in these from the recoil. But yeah, I'm really liking these little cable tie screw-in mounts. They're working really well so far. Of course, the proof of the pudding is going to be in the actual firing of them, but in terms of ease of use of setup, they're really quite good. And what I do like is they actually kind of bring the candle forward a little bit, so the candle's not right up against the wood. So it means if I do want to get something else in behind, I can. I mean, I could potentially like cable tie those 2 candles together as well for extra stability. So these little mounts sort of just offset everything from the wood a little bit so I can get things behind, which is little benefit, little added bonus there. Right, there we are, we've got some cable ties in there. Let's catch up on chat though before I do this. The Quiet Fountain Pack from Tesco's is exceptional for supermarkets, surprisingly good value. Yeah, I think this is like the 3rd year it's been out now. The first year it was only, I think, £25, which was amazing. Amazing value. I think it's now £30 for 5 fountains, so £6 a fountain as opposed to £5 a fountain. But it's a really nice pack. There's some good variety in there. That's the Bright Lights Selection Box, and it's available from Tesco. That would be my pick, I think, from Tesco. Again, this year, I have actually used them, I think, on my bonfire night stream 2 years ago, maybe. The first year that box came out, which I think was 2-3 years ago now. So yeah, on that stream for that bonfire night, I bought a box of that and actually put them in my little live stream that I did for my back garden live on YouTube for that. So yeah, it's a good little low noise fountain pack, that, which is good because so often you get fountains and they've got crackle in. Even if it's not all the way through, you'll find it starts off with nice fountain. Oh, that's nice, and then it'll suddenly go to crackle. And there's nothing wrong with crackle. I like a bit of crackle, but it can get a bit mundane if there's too much of it. So it's nice to have a selection of fountains where there's no crackle in there at all, and it's all low noise, and it's just focusing on some nice, pretty colours. And there is actually a jelly beans fountain in there, in that box as well. So if you can't get hold of like Spectrum, or jumping jelly beans or things like that, that Bright Lights low noise selection box from Tesco does have a jelly bean fountain in from memory. Ollie Clark, I bought most of my fireworks online this year, but today I picked up a Gala fountain and the Element shot tubes from Tesco to bulk out my display a bit more. Yep. Even if you only want a selection box for kids, you can get go to a proper shop, get something better. Yeah, Kim Bolton or Jonathan's will be better value for money. Absolutely, yes. I said before, if you live within reach of a specialist all year round retailer, they will have better selection boxes than your supermarket does. you'll get more bang for your buck, literally. So crackles get irritating fast. Yes, they do. Squirrels and Frozen says around 2005, 2010-ish, standard dominated the supermarkets. Luckily, my dad used to get the Dynasty box from Morrison's. Yes, which I think is now owned, which I think was owned by Cosmic. Yes, of course, Cosmic has now been incorporated within Chestnut Trading. We were talking about Chestnut Trading on the live stream on Thursday, Friday, I can't remember now. So yes, Cosmic, I mean, Cosmic used to be a really good brand as well, and Cosmic have kind of, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, over time, some brands kind of rise, some brands kind of fall by the wayside. We were talking about Bright Star as well on the other stream as well. There's a lot more competition now than there was. I mean, when I was growing up, it was a choice between Standard or Brock's. They were pretty much the only fireworks you could get in the UK, and they were great. And it started off with Standard. I think Standard pretty much dominated everything. So I started off with Standard, and then Brock's came along, and Brock's were like the first ones in the UK to actually put like Visco fuse on fireworks. Prior to that, it was blue touch paper on all the Standard stuff, which was a nightmare. If you're old enough to remember blue touch paper, it was so unreliable. It was basically, instead of having a fuse on your fireworks, you'd have a little bit of blue, like thick kind of paper on the top, and you'd light that and it would kind of smolder and eventually kind of catch or go out, and you'd never like quite know, is it gonna go or not? And it wasn't great. And then Brock's came along with Visco Fuse, and it was a game changer. And now everything has Visco Fuse. Nothing has blue touch paper anymore. So but Brock's, I mean, you can't get Brock's anymore. Brock's has disappeared, so you can still get Standard, but it's not made in the UK anymore. You can still, like Kimbolton as well, has been around a while, but Kimbolton changed. That kind of went into receivership or administration or something, managed to get bought out and things like that. So the names of brands kind of, some of them continue, but they're not the same brands that they were. Other brands are kind of new. There's new brands coming all the time. In Pyroworks, which I did a lot of footage for a couple of years ago, filming all their product range for them. They're new. This is only their third year in business. Reikio, which is an offshoot, a sister company of Vivid. Reikio have only been around 2 years. This is their second year, I think. Third year? Second year, I think. Vivid themselves haven't been around that long, let's be honest. They've only been around a decade, if that. So new brands are springing up all the time. We talked about Ardi the other day, the French brand, that are starting to become available on the UK market as well. So things do change over time, and some companies that were great once are not necessarily great now, but there's new stuff coming along as well. So we, as consumers, there is such a wide choice of brands and fireworks now. I know some people are loyal to specific brands. In this display, I've got all kinds of different brands across both these displays: Yorgi, Celtic, Evolution, Standard, Vivid, TNT, Diamond, Celtic, all kinds of Bright Star, Vulcan, a whole range of stuff. I like to pick and choose and get the best pieces from different brands and things. But there's so much choice out there now for consumers. We've never had it so good in terms of choice. Let's have a look. What will you do when you reach 2,000 subscribers? I don't know. I don't even know how close I am to 2,000 subscribers, maybe 150 odd or so away. When I reached 1,000 subscribers, which was 2 years ago, a year ago, whenever it was, we just talked about those missile cakes. I let off 1,000 shots of those little mini missile cakes to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. I'm still finding them all over my grass to this day. So what am I going to do when I hit 2,000 subscribers? I don't know. I don't know when I'll hit it. I don't do this channel for numbers. I mean, it's great that so many of you, 1,800 and however many, like my channel and subscribe to my channel. That's amazing. And I know some people do channels because they want numbers, they want viewers, and they want to go viral and all that lot. I just do this because I like it and I like interacting with you guys, and I want to share some of my experiences with you, and hopefully it's helpful and entertaining at the same time. So I don't know what I'm going to do when I reach 2,000 subscribers. I don't know when I'm going to reach 2,000 subscribers, but we shall see. But if you're not subscribed yet, you can help me get to 2,000 subscribers by clicking the subscribe button. There we go. Right. Charlie808 says, Richard at Vivid imports Reikio, but actually the Happy Families factory on the brand. Yes, apologies for any confusion on that. Yes, they are a sister brand from Vivid in terms of Vivid import them. But yes, I mean, everything's made in China, so there are a limited number of factories in China that make products for numerous brands. So that's quite often where you might see a couple of brands with products you think, oh, they look kind of similar. Have they copied that from that brand? And it's actually, they're both made by the same factory, so you're going to get that. So, but yes, there is that link between Reikio and Vivid. In fact, I've actually got some Reikio products in my Manchester display. I don't think have I got. No, I've got one Reikio product in my Liverpool display because it was F2 and it was fairly small. I think that was Thunderbolt 3. Was it 4? Was it 1? I can't remember. Whichever one of those is F2 and only 25mm tubes as opposed to 30. But I've got some of the bigger 30mm Reikio stuff in my Manchester display because it's really impressive stuff. I like it. I'm not sure if Tesco is selling fireworks. Tesco should be selling fireworks. Of course, if it's a little Tesco local, a little mini, whatever, Tesco Metro, whatever they call them now, they probably won't. But the bigger Tescos will be selling fireworks. But I've actually found that they're one of the most restrictive supermarkets in terms of the times you can buy them. So yes, fireworks are available at Tesco's, but if I go to Tesco's now, well, of course it'll be closed because it's Sunday night, but if I go to Tesco first thing in the morning, tomorrow, Monday morning, 9 o'clock, I won't be able to buy fireworks because you'll find that Tesco only sell them between like the hours of 11 and 2 or something. You know, the very limited window when you can actually buy them. So it's really frustrating. I know in past years when I've wanted fireworks from Tesco's like that, bright lights, low noise selection box, I've gone to Tesco, done my shopping, 11 o'clock in the morning. Oh, sorry, we don't sell fireworks till 1 o'clock. And it's like... So they don't make it easy, but at least they are selling fireworks, unlike some supermarkets, Sainsbury's, Sainsbury's that have stopped. So yeah, but your Tesco, if it's a big Tesco, they should be selling fireworks, but it might be restricted hours when you can get them. Holly says Tesco's are selling fireworks this year, otherwise I bought ghost fireworks. And Charlie says everything I've fired from Reikio has been absolutely brilliant. Yes, I put a Reikio product in my Liverpool display last year. It was the first Reikio product I fired and it was really amazing. So I put the same one again in the display this year, but I put a load more in my Manchester one where I've got a bit more space so I can use the 30mm tubes and stuff. I've been really impressed with Reikio stuff too. So far from what I've seen with my own eyes and from the videos and things. So excited to put those products in, and you'll probably see those on a live stream later this week. So I'm going to be prepping those cakes and things. So we'll talk through all the various different cakes I've got for the different shows as we waterproof them and get them all prepped and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. Right, let's we got sidetracked again. Let's get these little spinner candles in. It's easy to do these when I'm not holding two in my hand. So that's going to sit on there like that. Cable tied in here. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, don't over tighten your cable ties, especially on the smaller bore ones, because these tend to have less winds of cardboard. They're easier to compress. If you compress them, the shots can't escape. They can explode in here, and it's not great. So if you are using cable ties on your candles, make sure that you don't over tighten the cable ties themselves. They do make a satisfying sound, don't they, cable ties, when you close them? Or maybe that's just me, I don't know. I'm easily pleased. There we go, we got those 3 candles on finally. And there's 14 of you here now. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining us, my name's Mark. I do fireworks. I'm in the UK. If you like what you see, consider subscribing for more amazing firework content. Right, let's get the Vivid 56 shot on. I really like 56 shot candles in general. There's not as many available these days as there used to be, because retailers, importers haven't brought them in for many years. So it's whatever stocks in the UK is kind of what's left. Like Zeus do some really nice 56 shot candles. They're quite hard to come by now. Vivid ones are almost impossible to come by. Celtic do some nice ones, but again, some of theirs are not available now. Like Let's Go is a really nice 56 shot one. From Celtic, kind of everyone's sold out of that now. You can still get BAM and WAP and things like that, but I'm hoping retailers are going to, in the next year, bring some more 56 shot candles in, because supplies of these are dwindling and they're really good. Much better than, like, you know, these 8 shot ones, 10 shot candles, 5 shot candles, whatever. They're okay, but they're not as impressive as ones that are sending up 56 shots. Of course, yes, the bore size is smaller, so the effects are smaller, but small effects can be better if you do them in quantity. That's probably something you've picked up from my displays. The displays I do in Liverpool, because space is so tight, I've got to use some really small things, like some little traffic light fountains, things like that. But you do them in multiples, and actually what is a small effect on its own can actually look quite impressive if you do a multitude of them, or do them at angles and fan them out and do all sorts of things like that. So smaller, bigger tubes, bigger diameter tubes doesn't always equate to better. Smaller tubes but in multiples can be just as impressive, if not more impressive. So yeah, this is the Vivid 56 shot special white strobe. Vivid did a range of these. They did some red ones, some green ones, and some lots of lovely ones, but I hope they bring them back. And whereas like these Evolution ones, this was like 106 grams net explosive content. Some of them were, I think we said this one was only 84. The Vivid one here, this is 115 grams net explosive content, so significantly they're going to be better than these ones, let's put it that way. But we used everything in multiples, so overall it should all look good. So this one's going to go on this slightly wider angled plinth here. I think I just need to move these cable ties around a little bit. This is the other benefit of not over tightening these. I can adjust these a little bit now because they're not too tight. So I need to get this one in here. I might need to just twist that out of the way a little bit. The fuse on these ones is at the side, which is interesting. All these other ones, the fuse is at the top. Vivid ones are slightly different. The fuse is on the side, and it's visco, and it goes into quick match, which I won't talk too much about, but fuse is on the side of these. So this is going to get cable tied on here, and I will put a bracket on underneath as well, just to support this one as well. So that's going to go on kind of about there. Let me get some of the bigger cable ties for this. So I'll just get it on loosely first. Apologies that my back is to the... Oh, you see he's dropping his cable ties. Apologies that my back is somewhat towards the camera at the moment. But let's just get this roughly in position, supported, and then we can move away. So yeah, this is at approximately a 30-degree angle. These are going to be either side of my sights. They're going to be about 16 meters apart, firing over, so they're going to cross over in the sky. And that's the intention anyway. And we'll get a third one on here. Like so, that's good. And I'm just going to screw a little bracket in to the bottom here. These little 50mm brackets, you'll have seen them on my other streams. Little cheap shelving brackets. Buy them in bulk from Amazon, about 30 in a pack. 50mm, which is great because it's the same width as my gaffer tape. So I use this on my fountain tables, screw that into the board, stick a fountain up next to it, gaffer tape around. That fountain's not going anywhere. Just using them again because kind of underneath of here is pretty much 50mm. So one of those under there, or gaffer tape under there as well, just protects it because there's some weight in these compared to these smaller candles. So let's get that screwed in with a little screw. And where's my screwdriver these days? There it is. Again, I'll have my back to the camera for a moment, guys. Sorry. going to go like that. And let's screw this in. Nice, there we go. Right, let's catch up on chat. Ollie says, have you fired the cake Ad Astra from Black Cat? No, I've seen video of that, but it's one I've not fired. Some of Black Cat's products have actually been quite good recently, haven't they? I don't know, have I got any Black Cat in any of these displays? I don't think so, but Black Cat and Standard are basically the same brand for all intents and purposes. Right, so this board is now, this frame rather, it's not a board, it's a candle frame, kind of pretty much done. I am going to get some little Vulcan mines on here at some point as well. Not quite entirely worked out where they're going to go, so I'll come back to that. They're also going to have on the tops of these, there's going to be little Celtic blinkers. I use Yorgi strobes an awful lot. Sadly, Yorgi strobes are only available in white, which is a real shame. I really do wish Yorgi would do some of their little strobes in other colours. But these are Celtics blinkers, these are the red ones. I did a comparison video last year on my channel comparing Yorgi strobes to Celtic ones. Actually, Yorgi ones came out best, in my opinion. But these are red strobes, they last 60 seconds and they just kind of flash red, basically. There's going to be one of these on the top of each of these. There are going to be some on my fountain boards as well for this Manchester display, but I want some up here as well because these are going to be at different heights and things, just so I've got kind of strobing going on everywhere. So that's going to be going on there as well. I'll put a little bracket on there and screw that on at some point as well. In fact, I could probably do that now, couldn't I? Although I haven't exactly worked out where. It could go centre, couldn't it? It could go right there. I don't think there's anything else going on those frames. Let me just check my little plan. Yeah, so the Vulcan mine attack things are going to go on those as well. They were originally going to go on my fountain boards. You'll see if you watch my other live streams, you see I put some Vulcan mines on my fountain boards for Liverpool. I was going to put them on my fountain boards for Manchester. But when I've just kind of laid stuff out on my fountain boards, I've realised I don't have room. So I had to rethink a little bit and thought, well, actually, let's do them on the candle frames because they're at the right kind of angle. So they're going to go on there, but I haven't quite worked out exactly how I'm going to mount those yet. So we will come back to those. But I can put these two little Celtic blinkers on for sure. So let's just get the fuse cover off here out of the way. Like that. They have really quite long fuses on these. Same as the Yorgi ones in terms of the fuse is basically just a piece of visco that's then taped across the top. That's all it is. So these can come loose. I tend to find that the Celtic ones are a little bit better attached than the Yorgi ones. The Yorgi ones have a habit of falling off. And if they do, you can just tape back over the top, tape it back on and it's fine. The Celtic ones are a little bit more robust. You do see these used in like professional displays. Celtic do consumer stuff and professional stuff. There's a bit of a crossover as well between some of their consumer products are professional quality. We talked on the stream the other day about the Monster fountain, the new fountain from Celtic, of which there's a review and footage on my channel. It's an amazing fountain. It was going to be brought in as a professional fountain, so not available to consumers. They managed to get it classified as being available for consumers, but it's epic. It lasts 60 seconds and goes up to a height of 10 meters, literally. And I have measured it, and you'll see that on my channel. And it does go to 10 meters. So there's something really impressive. Celtic have been around a while. Celtic are a really reputable brand, really consistent, really reliable, good quality stuff. I use lots of their products. In fact, my finale in both of these displays is going to have some Celtic products in as part of the finale. So I do like Celtic stuff. You'll find quite a lot of reviews of Celtic products as well on my channel as well. If you're new to my channel, I do lots of reviews of fireworks. A lot of the time I get given fireworks before they're actually available to anybody. So as soon as they land in the UK, they get kind of shipped to me, and I get to be the first to actually witness them and film them and review them and stuff on my channel before they become available to the public, so I'm really honoured to be able to do that. So you'll see lots of reviews of Celtic products and things on my channel from the last year or so. I've done some new ones this year as well, and of course the Monster Fountain this last week as well. So yeah, I really like Celtic as a brand. They have such a good range of products, a massive range of products in fact. Their website is also really good. If you go on their website, you can get 3D renderings of all their products in action. You can view them from different angles. They have a show builder, you can build shows and stuff. It's really quite cool. That's Celtic Fireworks, my retail website that is. So yeah, Baby Lisa says, Night Marko, I need to sleep, I've got to get 7 a.m. in college. Thanks Lisa, thanks for being here, thanks for being on my other streams as well. I hope you have a good night and see you on my next stream, I've no doubt. What do I think of the Celtic 6-pack? Yeah, it's good. Celtic do a 6-pack, they do a 9-pack. We've talked about them on the streams before. They also do a low noise pack called the Quiet Ones, which I filmed and fired last year. That was really quite a nice little low noise pack. So yeah, Celtic barrages in general are really good. The fact that they're putting them together in packs now, which I think they're doing as a result of Vivid kind of putting stuff together in packs, like the Asylum pack. Celtic thought, oh, hang on, we need to put some stuff together in a pack because they sell. But yeah, Celtic barrages in general are good. I haven't really come across a Celtic barrage yet that I've thought that's a bit rubbish. There's some that are better than others, don't get me wrong, but there's not been one that's like, oh, that's really rubbish. So there we go. Right, so yes, we're going to put a red blinker on that one, a red blinker on the other one. Interestingly, these blinkers always come with like in plastic bags. I've never quite understood why. Someone might be able to tell me, I don't know. But yeah, they always come in little bags. No idea. I'm sure there's a reason for it. So I'm just removing the fuse cover, and again, this is one of these ones where it should have the centre section that's not a sticker, and this one, oh, there we go, it's come off. That's good. Okay, we'll do one here on this one, like that. And again, if you're just joining me, this side is not going to be facing the audience. The other side of these is going to be facing the audience. So all my candles are on the rear of these frames. And that's because if one was to become dislodged and fall off, the only way it can fall is backwards or to the side. It can't fall forwards to where spectators are going to be. Even though the spectators on this display are going to be 50+ meters away, you still don't want things falling and firing towards audiences. So always do your candles on the rear of whatever you're attaching them to. Right, I need a couple more brackets. Which I need to bend back into shape because these have all been bent out of shape for use with angled effects. Which is the cool thing about these brackets, they do actually bend, so you can use them to get some angles as well, but I just want these to be at 90 degrees. And then I will screw that on there, and I can gaffer tape that blinker to that. There's very little recoil. In fact, there's no recoil really from blinkers or strobes. All they do, it's like a fountain, but it just kind of, it flashes really bright. There's no kind of force, so I don't need to kind of go overboard with the amount of restraint I'm using on that to keep it in position. So one little bracket and gaffer taped around will be absolutely fine, or indeed even cable tied around for these. We'll see. I might cable tie because I'm cable tying everything else. We'll see. Let's screw those in. There may also be one more thing on the top of these candle racks, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I won't talk about it too much, and we'll see if it arrives, and if it does, then it will be on another stream. But for now, let's just put this in here. And the good thing about these brackets is you can reuse them. If you watch my streams last year, you'll see I used loads of these brackets. Strip them all off, reuse them again, no problem at all. They are stainless steel. Obviously, they do get a bit, well, you know, when you get hot metal, hot fallout falling on them, they do start to discolor a bit, but they still, you know, they're still structurally sound. I can reuse them again and again, year after year. without any issues at all. That's good. So yeah, I might actually just cable tie these ones this time. Let's get some cable ties. And the other good thing, these brackets have obviously the screw holes in. There's 2 screw holes in each. I tend to, for most part, you know, these are not like, I'm not using them for structural stuff. I'll just use a single screw to hold it into the wood. You could use 2 screws, but the benefit of having these 2 holes on the side is you could then cable tie through these, which is really good, and that stops things moving around even more. So these blinkers, I could just cable tie around the whole thing like that, but then I could just lift the whole thing off. Whereas if I cable tie through the holes in the side of them, then that can't happen. So we'll do one that way, like that. Let me just do that loosely, and then I'll do one going the other way, like that. So we'll do that one nice and tight. Again, you can do these ones really nice and tight because there's no danger that you're going to choke the firework on these. Do this one like that. Again, I will chop the excess off later, but those are nice and secure. And because I've gone through the holes in those brackets, I can't even lift that off now. That's really nice and secure. Let's do the other one. So same thing again, through the hole in the bracket that way, and we'll go through the hole in the bracket that way, round the blinker, or the strobe. I call them strobes. Celtic call them blinkers. I call them strobes. They're the same thing. Now this one around this way. There we go, and that's not going anywhere either. So that's the blinkers on there. What would you recommend, the Celtic 6-pack or the Vivid Pro Ultra Cake Pack? Ooh, they both have 6 cakes and a similar price. Ooh. Celtic or Vivid, Celtic or Vivid. I would say I'd go for the Vivid personally. If they're both the same price, I would personally go for the Vivid. On that, but they're both equally good. They're both equally good. Right, so that's kind of that done for now. Yes, I want to get the minor tacks on. I'm not entirely worked out exactly how or where they're going to go yet. So maybe we'll move on to the centre one. Now, you'll see the centre one, I've used bigger wood on this because there's going to be a lot more candles on it. So on the side, we got the 2 Yorgi Storm 4s, 2 Yorgi Storm 3s. Oh, I didn't do these cable ties. This one here. I started and got sidetracked. So let's just put this cable tie on the little spinner, and the one at the bottom here. Like that. So those 3 Yorgi spinners, the Northern Lights from Evolution and the Vivid, and then the blinker on top. So we've got that kind of mirrored on the extremes of my sight. Some of them are going to be firing in V's, some in W's, some kind of across the display. This one in the middle is going to have more on, and that's why I've used these wider boards. This is the same boards that I used to actually make my fountain tables. I get them from like B&Q. They are 150mm wide as opposed to 50mm wide, so like 3 times the width of those. Thickness of these, I can't remember what they are, them 22mm I think. So the battens were roofing battens on here, they were 50 by 25. These ones are 150 by 22. It doesn't really matter for candles really, let's be honest, but I needed the extra width because there's going to be more going on here. So on here there's going to be another 2 Storm 4s, another 2 Storm 3s, another 3 spinners. There's going to be another whistle, Northern Lights whistle. There's then going to be another 3 56 shots going in a W. There's going to be the 2 Yorgi candle barrages going in a V, these things. So there's a lot more going on this one, which is why I used bigger bits of wood. So that's the plan in terms of how I'm going to attach everything. That's what I'm still kind of working out as I go, but we'll work it out together. Some mad random person says, right, Mark, I need to boost for the school run tomorrow. Yeah, daughter's still up, need to get her to bed. No. Listen, thanks for being here, some mad random person. Appreciate your company on this Sunday evening. Hopefully see you on the next stream. I do appreciate that it is getting late here in the UK on a Sunday night. It's just gone 10 past 11 here in the UK. Of course, our clocks changed yesterday, well, today technically, I guess, in the early hours. So we are now on GMT again. We're not on British summertime anymore. So the clocks went back an hour. So we all got an extra hour in bed last night, in theory. But for those of us with young kids, yeah, we hate these times of years when the clocks change. So anyway, yeah, but I appreciate that people have got to be up early in the morning. So thanks if you've got to go and you've been here for a while. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're just joining me as well, welcome in. We're going to be going for a little bit longer yet. My name's Mark, I do fireworks, I'm in the UK. I'm setting up, I'm doing some prep for 2 displays I'm doing around bonfire night, 1 a week on Sunday, a week today in fact, because it's Sunday now, and 1 a week on Tuesday, which is bonfire night here in the UK. And on this stream we're setting up some candle frames for my display in Manchester, which I'm going to be doing on a football pitch, a soccer pitch, for those of you who confused between soccer and football. In the UK we call football. Elsewhere you guys call our football soccer. But anyway, I'm doing it on a soccer pitch, a football pitch, where I can't hammer things into the ground. So I can't hammer great big stakes in as I would normally do for doing candles. So I'm having to do candles on candle frames, which in turn are on tripods, speaker stands, and this one's a lighting stand in the middle. Same kind of thing, just a little bit bigger. So that everything can be raised off the ground, nothing's going to be hammered in. And that's what we're doing on this stream. I'm showing you how I'm assembling them. We're talking about different ways of attaching candles safely. And yeah, so welcome in if you're new. If you're new and you've not subscribed to my channel, why not just click the subscribe button? Because I do fireworks. My channel's family friendly as well, so I promote the safe and responsible use of fireworks. So you're not going to see anything like dangerous and illegal and stuff on my channel. And it's family friendly as well, no bad language, nothing like that. So yeah, welcome in everybody. Okay, so yeah, on this one we're going to have, going up vertically, there's going to be the Northern Lights whistle that we've got on these 3, because I want those 3 to go up together. Oh, and by the way, these are not going to be this close together on the firing site. The firing site's like 16 meters wide, so that's going to be 8 meters that way, that's going to be 8 meters that way, that's going to be in the center. This is all going to be behind my frontage, which are going to be my fountain boards, which are really going to be quite unusual. They're going to be, you're going to want to watch that stream when I do that in a few days' time, because my actual fountain boards themselves are going to be at angles. The one in the middle is going to be flat, and one on either side is going to be at angles, and then the ones either side are going to be even more angles. So whereas my Liverpool ones, if you caught my other stream, they're all flat. The ones for my Manchester one are going to be at an angle, so we're going to get effects going like fanned from the fountain boards, which is going to be, I think it's going to look quite cool, but it's a bit of a challenge to kind of do those boards at angles and things, so we'll work on that on another stream. But for now, yes, we want to get a couple of candles. Now, I was originally on here, I'm definitely going to do the whistle one. The other one I was going to use was the green crackle ones from the Northern Lights pack. So the Northern Lights pack of 56 shot candles includes a green crackle, a whistling one, a red mine one, and a silver mine. There's very little footage out there of these. In fact, there only seems to be one video of it that a number of different retailers have used. So I'm not entirely sure how these are going to perform. Normally when I look at fireworks and look at which fireworks I want to get, I will go on YouTube and I will find as many different product videos for the same firework as I can, from as many different years as I can. And then that way, that gives me a pretty good idea of how a firework is going to perform. If it's one I've not fired myself. I haven't fired this one myself before. The Storm 3s and 4s and the spinners I've fired before. The blinkers I've fired before. The 56 shot vivid strobes I've fired before. I know how they perform. These ones I don't know how they perform, and there is only one video out there. So there's a bit of an unknown, which is not a concern, but it's like I'm not quite sure how long this is going to last. I'm not quite sure how high the effects are going to go from this. So out of the pack of 4, I say there's a whistle, there's a green crackle, there is, let me see if I can get the other ones. There is a red mine one. which the packaging is red. That's the red mine. And there is a silver mine one. There, so silver mine, red mine, green crackle, and whistle. The whistle, the NEC was 106 grams. The green crackle is only 84. The red mine is 196 grams, which is the biggest one yet. And actually the silver mine 100. So the mine ones are 196. The green crackle is the smallest one in terms of net explosive content at just 84 grams net explosive content. But on the videos I've seen, the green crackle and the whistle went a lot higher height-wise than the mines. The mines didn't really reach a particularly great height. So I was originally going to use the silver mine and the red mine in my Liverpool display where space is a little bit tighter, so everything's a bit smaller. And I was going to use the green crackle and the whistle in my Manchester display. But I've been humming and hawing about it. Say the green crackle's only 84 grams, even though it seems to go a bit higher and it's got crackle in. But for my finale for my Manchester display, and I don't want to give too much away, but it is going to be quite red because I'm going to be using Ghost Rider from Celtic and a few other red products. Of course, I've got the red blinkers and things like that. So I'm toying with swapping out the green crackle, using the green crackle in the Liverpool one instead, and using the whistle. I'm definitely using the whistles in the Manchester one, but I'm thinking I might use the red mine instead. Say I was planning on using the green crackle and it was going to be in a W formation on here in the centre, but I'm kind of humming and hawing and thinking about maybe swapping it out for the red mine. It's got kind of double the amount of NEC in, but my only kind of hesitation with that is to say there's been only one video that I can find on these particular candles, and the performance on the red and the silver in terms of the height of the effect wasn't that great, wasn't as impressive as the green or the whistle. And of course in my Manchester display my spectators are like 50 plus meters away. For my Liverpool one they're like 15 meters plus away. So I'm still not quite sure whether to use a green crackle or the red mine on this display. We shall see. Let's have a look at the chat. Terry Parkinson is here, says hello Mark and all, joining the stream late. Hey, that's no problem, Terry, you're very welcome in. Have you missed much? Well, if you see my other streams, you'll probably see that I don't actually get an awful lot done on these streams. I spend most of the time chatting to you guys, so you missed a bit. We've set up a bit of a candle frame here, but again, you can re-watch this stream afterwards to see the bits you've missed. What else have we spoken about on this stream? We've spoken about how to microwave jacket potatoes. We go off on all kinds of tangents. On the stream on Thursday, Friday, we were talking about washing machine ringtones. So, you know, we do go off on some strange tangents that are not always related directly or even indirectly to fireworks. But welcome in, Terry. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your company this evening. So, yes, green or red? I'm trying to decide. I think I might go with red just because I think it will fit in a bit better in my finale. But there is an unknown because I don't know how high these candles are going to go. So it might not look that impressive if it doesn't go very high. But I don't know. We'll see. These were only... I got these because these were cheap. I like 56-shot candles. These were cheap. These worked out about £4.50 a candle, which is just an amazing price for a 56-shot candle. So I couldn't really pass up the opportunity to not use them. So I bought four packs of... three packs of 4. I can't remember. I bought quite a lot. I bought like 20 odd candles. So for using my across my 2 displays. So okay, in the middle then we're definitely gonna have a Northern Lights. Well, they're all Northern Lights. We're definitely gonna have the whistle, and I think we might go for the red on this, and then we also need a spinner as well. So on this center panel of this center candle frame, we're going to have 2 of these like that, and we're going to have in the middle, we're going to have another Yorgi spinner. So let's get the Yorgi spinner on there first, I think. Let me just check there's nothing else going on this center one as well. Let's just check my plan. I say I still haven't actually programmed this display. I'm kind of designing it in my head as we go. I know roughly where things are going to be in terms of the layout, but I haven't really got like an order yet for firing, and I really need to kind of get my head around that because my first display is on Sunday, a week today. So right, let's have a look. So the whistle, the spinner, and the, yeah, right, okay, cool. So I need one of these candles as well. I think we might get this one in first because this is going to be the easiest one. It's going to go straight in the centre and it's going to go straight up. So that's nice and easy to do. So we'll get in a few of these smaller, we were showing these earlier on the stream, these little zip tie cable mounts. Zip tie cable tie mounts that they're screw in, which is really good. I've seen these before, but they've been like a little sticky pad on the bottom, like no, that's no use for fireworks. These I can actually screw into the wood and then put a cable tie through, so these will butt up against here and I can cable tie around them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 3 of those on here. Let's put this candle out of the way for now. Actually, I'm going to need that candle to see how long and whereabouts I need to do these, but I can certainly put one in at the top because we're going to need that. Okay, so in the top, in the centre, let's go for this. That's good. Great. We'll do one there, we'll do one a bit further down. Probably about here. About this screw with no screw there. That's not much use, is it? Actually, what I will do, I'll just make sure that I'm staying vertical on here. So that needs to go, yeah, I'm kind of there. Let's put this down out of the way. Apologies for having my back to the camera right now as well. We shall rectify that momentarily. So this would be a lot easier if I was doing this on the floor rather than doing it vertically. But it's better for the camera that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So, right, let's put this one in here. Like that. Let's check we're still relatively vertical. That looks good. And we'll put the last one in. Down here. So that's going to go in there. We can do one down here. Nice. And we'll get some cable ties to cable tie this in. As I said before, you don't have to use these little cable tie mounts. You could cable tie this directly to the wood or gaffer tape it directly to the wood. This is actually the first year that I'm using these little mounts just to see what they're like. Readily available, you get them from Amazon, you get them from hardware stores. They do come in quite big bulks. You can't just buy a pack of 10. I think I ended up having to buy like 150 of them. But that's fine, I will use them. There we go, that's nice. Okay, so next we need to get in the 56 shot ones next to it. These are going vertical, but I need to get these. How am I going to do these? Let's have a think. In fact, what I will show you, I want to show you the reverse of these. So on these outer ones, I used the little top hat speaker brackets. I'll lift this off to show you guys. So on the underside of there, there's a speaker top hat, just sits on top of the speaker, and I screw it on. This center one, I'm not using a speaker stand. Excuse me, I'm using a lighting stand. Same kind of thing, it's a little bit more heavy duty. It's a thicker diameter, slightly thicker diameter pole. It will go slightly higher as well. Basically because I run out of speaker stands because I'm going to be using 7. I only had 7. So I put a lighting stand in instead. Still does the job. It kind of worked quite well because there's going to be some weight on here with the 56 shot candles and the 96 shot candle barrages and things. So it works all right. But I didn't have a top hat for this. So I've made a little box. This is really quite, it took me a little while to do, but basically this will lift off. Just about, he says. There we go. So I basically built a box there that's the same width as the diameter of the pole. So the pole basically just slots in there, and there's a lid on it as well, so it can't go anywhere. And so that will just sit on there. And the good thing is, well, you think, well, okay, well, how's that going to stop it from spinning around? Well, in this pole, like with the speaker stand poles, there are holes at various heights and you can put the pin in so you can adjust the height. So I've drilled some holes, you might be able to see them in the side here, that actually line up with the holes at the side here. So once I slot that on, I could then put a pin through those or even a cable tie through those, and that will stop that rotating. So I thought that was quite a nice little solution, really. It does mean there's a bit of weight in here, but these, you know, these lighting stands are designed to hold even more weight than speaker stands, so there's not an issue that I'm overloading the stand. And I say I can transport this quite easily to site because I can transport the frame separate to the stand, so it works out quite well. But I'm thinking I might actually drill some holes in here to allow me to get cable ties round for the 56 shot candles. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, because obviously these little mounts that I've got are great for single tube candles, but multi-tube candles like here, those little cable tie mounts, even the bigger ones, they're not going to cut it on a 56 shot one. They're just not going to give a nice base for them to sit against. Well, actually, that said, they will sit against. They will actually. I didn't think these would be okay, but because of the shape of these, I know they look round, but actually you can see it better from this side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's not quite spherical, and so that does actually fit quite nicely, quite snugly actually, over one of those tubes. So I can. Didn't think I'd be able to use these, but I think I can use these. I will do some of these and get some cable ties around them, and that's going to work out actually. That's going to be quite, I'm quite pleased with that, folks. Kind of wish I'd done that on these ones now. It doesn't need it. I'm not going to go back and redo them, but actually, this is going to work. It saves me having to drill holes in the wood, so that's good. Right, let's get some of these bigger ones then out. So yes, I got 2 different sizes of these. I first got these small ones, and I got them like, oh, they're far too small, they're not going to be much use. But then I remembered I got some smaller candles. These ones work quite well with the spinners. These ones work well with the Storm 3s and Storm 4s, and they're going to work all right with these 56 shot ones, I think. So let's get some of these out. Gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, if you're going to use these ones, get ones where you can screw them in, not ones with like double-sided sticky pads and stuff on the back, because they're not going to be suitable. They're not going to be strong enough. They're going to fall off, especially if they get wet, which is, you know, quite possible doing fireworks outdoors. Things can get wet. JLK Pyro Nut is here. Hi Mark, sorry late to the party, been doing prep myself. 1,367 single shots, wow. That's some prep. That will have taken you the best part of today, won't it? So welcome in though, Jason. Good to have your company here on this Sunday night. And for those of you just joining me, I'm prepping some candle frames for a display I'm doing in Manchester on bonfire night, which is going to be on a professional football pitch, which I can't damage. So I can't hammer anything into the ground. So I'm having to do things differently. And so I'm having to do my candles on these candle frames, which I decided to do on speaker stands like I do my fountain tables. Should work just as well, nice and stable, nice and rigid, and fairly lightweight as well to transport around. So that's what we're doing on this stream. We've kind of got, I did one off the stream. I know it looks like I've done loads. I did most of that off stream. We've done this one on the stream, and we're now working on this centre one here. So welcome in, Jason. Good to have your company here this evening. Right, let's work out where we're going to put this. So yeah, we're going to have the whistle, the Northern Lights whistle one going in, and that's going to go in like there, so that can go. Okay, that's going to be fine there. And guys, do bear with me. I'm still full of a cold and catarrh and stuff, so we're soldering on. But I appreciate my voice is not as strong as it perhaps normally is. Right, so that will sit really quite nicely in that. That's good. We'll do another one down here. Again, I'm sorry I've got my back to the camera, folks. I don't mean to be rude. It's just, it was the easiest way of doing it, because if I worked from the other side so you could see my face, you wouldn't see what I'm doing. So I'm sure you'd rather see this than me anyway. So right, I can't remember where I was going to do that one. What's the length of this? There, so it needs to go just above that. That's fine. Roughly about the same. So, let's go there. Let's check that's still relatively straight. Pretty much, it's a fraction out, but it's close enough. That I'm happy with that. We'll get one more in the middle. Here we go. Looks good, and I'll use the slightly bigger cable ties for this. So this is the whistle one. Again, make sure you get it the right way around. This one doesn't have a direction. Oh, it does have a firing direction. Candles usually have a little arrow on showing you which way is up. So let's get that on there. That's good. Let's put these cable ties through like that. 1, 2, 3. We'll seat that in there, like that. There we go, that's pretty good. That's nice and secure in there. I'm happy with that. Great. Okay, let's get the one on the other side. So yes, we are going to go for the red mines, I think, rather than the green crackles for this display. So I need another 3 of my cable tie mounts, another 3 screws, let's work out where this one's going to go. Let's just move these cable ties out of the way a little bit. Okay, so that's going to go in. Yeah, that's fine. It's good. Check that's level. It's pretty level. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. And one more in the middle. Thread the cable ties through. And then mount this on here. And again, if you're just joining us, don't do your cable ties too tightly on candles. If you pull them too tightly, you risk choking the candle, choking the tubes, damaging the tubes, and the shots can't escape and they explode in the tubes and do quite a bit of damage. So don't over tighten cable ties on candles. Less of an issue on fountains, but on cakes and indeed candles, if you're going to use cable ties, don't do them too tight. I'm just doing this to prevent these from moving, keep them in place. And what I will do, I'll put a little bit of gaffer tape over each of these as well, just to prevent any up and down movement. I'll probably actually put a couple of brackets in under the, well, I will put brackets on these like I did on the others, the other 56 shot there as well, just to prevent any recoil. Excuse me whilst I just have a drink, because my throat's getting a bit sore. Okay, so that's that's everything that's going to be on that center one. The side ones have got more on, and that's what we need to figure out next, because the center, the side ones are going to have these Yorgi candle barrages, 96 shot, 14mm tubes. This is candle barrage 1. They do candle barrage 2, candle barrage 3. 1 was the only one I could get my hands on. So they are going to go on here, on the outside of these. And so I need a way to keep these on here, because there's a lot more weight in these than those, because there's 96 shots as opposed to 56. So there's quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there's 12 tubes in here, whereas there's only 7 in those. So I want to get these on. I could do them that way. I'm probably going to do them this way, because I've also got to get on a red mine, another red mine on here, and a storm 3 and a storm 4. So there's quite a lot to get on on these ones. In fact, I haven't quite worked out. They will fit, but I'm going to have to stack the storms. Hashtag storm stacking. Let's come up with these random hashtags during the streams. That way people put them in the chat and comment on it, and more people come across them and like, what? So yeah, that's going to go there. So I need a way to support that. So what I'm going to do a few different things on this. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some of my frame ties. Spoke about these on the stream earlier. So as well as those little 50mm brackets that I've got some frame ties as well. Got these from Screwfix in like a pack of 10. 100mm ones, I think they're 50 that way and 100 that way. These ones 50 that way and 150 that way. Primarily for my cakes on my OSB boards, for my for my Manchester display, because I can't stake and tape things into the ground. That's primarily what I got them for, excuse me. But I think these little 10mm ones might actually work quite well. Oh, they're going to work really nicely. So I could screw that in there, and then I've got a bracket on the side, so I could do a couple of those, and then that's going to be quite nice. That's not going to be the only method of support, for sure, but that's going to be that's going to work really quite nicely. Yeah, let's get a couple of those in to start with then, on either side. And again, these have even more holes than the 50mm ones. There's 3 big holes there, and there's 3 there as well. So I think now I can use, on the smaller holes, I can use the same size screws that I've been using on my 50mm ones. So yeah, those little 50mm ones come in a pack of 30, and they actually come with screws, which is really useful because there's like 4 holes in each, so each one comes with 4 screws, so 30, 60, 120 screws. But I tend to use just 1 screw at a time on those little 50mm brackets, so it means I've got an excess of these little screws. These are really good because they're the right kind of length, because I don't want them too long. I don't want them to go all the way through the wood and come out the other side. These ones work really well. So I'm going to put a frame tie on here, and then another one up here, and that's going to look quite good. So I'll turn this board around. Turn the border round. Sorry, I'm bursting. I don't know why I burst into song there. I don't usually burst into song on these streams. Oh, it's late. I've had a long weekend, guys. Right, let me find my screwdriver. It's down here. Oh dear. Sorry, I'll try and get where I'm not going to block the view too much. Oh, he says, and the screw flies off somewhere. Oh, there it is. Good. I say normally I would do this horizontally flat on a table or the floor. But that's no fun on a stream because you guys can't see it. So unless I did the camera so it was an overhead camera, but then I'd have to be kind of on the floor looking up. As I, you wouldn't. This kind of works, but it's a little bit more challenging when it comes to doing the screwing things into the wood when you don't have enough hands. All right, let's try again. It's better. Actually, that might only need the 1 screw. That's pretty good. Right, let's get another of the 100mm frame ties. I say I mainly got 150mm ones because it's more useful for the bigger cakes, but these are okay. 3D printer guy is here. Hello, welcome in, 3D printer guy. Hello, Mark. I'm a bit late myself, joining. Been in the garage working myself. Hope everyone is well. Yes, I know lots of people are getting their prep done now, so welcome in if you're doing your prep, or if you've done your prep, or you're doing your prep now and you're listening to this whilst you're doing your prep. Great to have your company here this Sunday evening. In fact, it's nearly Monday, isn't it, in 14 minutes time here in the UK, because our clocks changed this morning. So we're now on UTC, GMT, now here in the UK for the next 6 months. So it means we have really... It goes dark really early now in the evenings, which is great for fireworks. I'm not complaining, but I do like it when the evenings are kind of lighter. So, I don't know, every year there's always a debate, well, should we just stay on British summertime all year round in the UK? And I'm actually in favour of that. I know some people are like, oh yeah, it means the morning's going to be really dark. Well, I don't care. I'm not a morning person. If you like me and you do fireworks and things like this, you're kind of more of a nighttime person than a early morning person. So that'll be fine. I'm quite happy with darker mornings if it means we have lighter nights. But there you go. Right, let's put another one of these up here. Let's do this one here. Get my screwdriver. I really don't have enough hands here. That's good. So a couple of frame ties on that side. I will do the same on the other side because I'm going to be doing these candles in a V formation. So let's turn that around and let's do the same over here. So I need another frame tie. So I get these from Screwfix. They're not the cheapest, but they're the cheapest I could find. So a pack of 10 was about £6. And actually the 100mm ones were exactly the same price as 150mm ones. That's why I've got more 150mm ones, because I thought they'd be more useful. But for these candles, these ones seem to be a good size. 3D printer guy says, I only like the extra hour in bed. Other than that, I wouldn't mind. Yes, I have a 3-year-old daughter, so she's obviously not aware of the clock change and stuff. So yes, we get an extra hour in bed, but then she wakes up an hour earlier, and so kind of net result is, yeah, we don't get an extra hour, sadly. But hopefully as she gets older, that will become easier, I hope. Till of course she becomes a teenager, then that's a whole nother story. This is going to get, apologies, I'm right in front of the camera again with my back to it. It's very unprofessional, isn't it? I'm going to do it left-handed now as well. It's good. Yep. And another one in at the top. John Surf Bummies here says, hey Mark, can't sleep. No, I'm actually wide awake at the moment. I worked a 12-hour gig yesterday, so I've been exhausted today. I actually fell asleep earlier this evening for like an hour and a half after I'd eaten. So when I woke up, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of awake now, so hey, let's live stream for a bit. So yeah, how long we'll go tonight, I don't know. I do appreciate that it's a Sunday night for people in the UK and they've got work in the morning. And obviously you guys in America, it's still the afternoon for you, so I'm sure you'll be with me for a little bit longer. We'll see how long we go tonight. We've already been going, how long have we been going now? We started about 9:30, didn't we, till 10, 11. We've been going about 2 hours 20 so far. My stream on Thursday, we went 4 hours 34, which was a new record for me by 2 minutes. And we went for 4 hours on Friday as well, and didn't do one yesterday because I was working. Today we're doing some, and there'll be more streams coming up as well over the next few days as well, because I've got so much to do for these 2 big displays coming up, one next Sunday, one a week on Tuesday. So lots happening, lots of firework prep to do. And yes, I do get a lot more done when I'm not on the stream, but I do appreciate that you guys like me when I stream, like it, and find out tips and information and handy hints. And a lot of you guys have taken what you've seen on my streams and used bits and things in your own streams. So I really like that. So yeah, that's why I do this. A for entertainment and B for education. In fact, I think we came up with a new word, didn't we, on the stream last year? We combined education and entertainment and came up with edutainment. That's what these streams are. They're educational, they're entertaining, they're edutainment. Yeah, it's not a proper word, is it? But it kind of sounds good. Right, let's get this one in. Try and get this one in. Again, apologies for having my back to the camera. But hey, I've got a tight clip microphone, so you can still hear me whether I'm facing the camera or not, which is kind of quite nice. because otherwise if I was just using the microphone on the camera, you wouldn't even hear me when I'm not facing this way, but I'm not facing that way. Nice. Okay, let's turn the frame around. Every time we do that, I should sing that song. Of course, it was turn the beat around. It wasn't, you know, I'm just changing the words, but hey. Right. So, yeah, these are going to be for the Yorgi candle barrages. That works really nice. I might do something on the other side as well, but I've still got some bits to get in on that side. So... actually, it would be quite good, wouldn't it, if I could get a... that would actually be very nice. Yes, let's do that. Let's use another frame tie. I'm making this up as I go along, folks. But the aim is basically to make these secure so that they don't fall off. That's the ultimate aim. There's not a right way, you know, there's more than one right way of doing it, let's put it that way. You can cable tie, you can gaffer tape, you can use frame ties, there's lots of different ways to do it. I've decided to use frame ties for this because these are quite big candles. So actually what I'll do a frame tie underneath as well. That would be good. Now, do I need to do a big frame tie? Can I get away with a smaller 50mm one? Let's have a look. No, I think I'm going to be better with the more expensive, but again, you can't skimp on safety. Okay, yeah, so yeah, these are a lot more expensive than the 50mm ones, but I want to do this safely, so we shall use these. Let's work out where this one needs to go first. So I like it so that my candles are just sort of protruding over the top of the wood. Don't really want them under the wood. It'll be fine, but the wood will then get scorched, and you do have a risk that shots could deflect off those. So it's better to do it kind of at least level with the top of the wood, if not slightly up. I'm going to do these ones level, so that needs to go there. I'm going to draw a hole. Draw a hole? Be interesting, wouldn't it? Mark a hole where I want this frame tie. I'm not even going to do it that way, am I doing it that way? So that's kind of off of it. There we go. That's fine. So I'll put this frame tie in for this one. I may have to get some more of these frame ties this week. I'm fortunate though that I'm literally like a stone's throw from a screw fix. I can walk there in like 5-10 minutes. So, which is quite handy. I do like screw fix. I do like the fact that they do like the, you can order on the app and it will be ready, they say within an hour. Usually when I do it, it's like ready within like 5 minutes. Go and pick it up, and you can, even on the app, you can tell them when you're there, and you press a button and yeah, they get it for you. It works quite well. So again, I'm not endorsing Screwfix. I'm not sponsored by Screwfix. Just saying I kind of find them quite useful. There we go, that's pretty good. So now this quite heavy candle barrage will actually sit there quite nicely on its own. Ta-da! But I'm going to do another bracket on the other side just to stop it. And of course I'm going to tape over these as well. But before I do that, I just need to work out what else is going on here. So I'm going to get another red Northern Lights mine. So that's going to go on there, and then I need to get some Yorgi, the Storm 3, Storm 4s on as well. But yeah, I can get another frame tie on there. Although actually on that side, that might be able to get away with the 50s on there because it's not actually doing any load. It's just, yeah, that's going to be fine. Yeah, put one in on that side. That's going to be good. There we go. That's not very tight. That's good. That's great. I'll be able to gaffer tape that on there, and that's going to be, that's quite satisfying, that. Yeah, I like that. Right, we need to do the same on the other side as well. 3D printer guy says 1 a.m. will be my cut-off. Yes, I mean I'm not going to go all night because I do need to get some sleep. I've got loads more prep to do tomorrow. Not even started on my cakes yet. Still got another set of 5 fountain boards to do for my Manchester display, so there's absolutely loads to do this week. So yeah, it's not going to be an all-nighter tonight by any means, but I did want to come on and stream for a few hours tonight for you guys. So yeah, we'll see how far we get. I might just I'll probably get this board done and then call it a night. How long that's going to take, I don't know, because it took me the first hour and 40 minutes of the stream just to get 3 candles on a frame because I'm talking so much. So we'll see how we go. Right, what did I do with my marker pen? There we go. These ones as well also have the fuse on the side, like the Vivid ones, which have the fuse on the side. These candles also have fuses on the side. So most candles have fuses at the top, but yeah, these ones are a little bit different. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Welcome in, and the 15 of you watching now as well, I appreciate your company. Thanks for being here. If you're new, my name is Mark. I'm in the UK. I do fireworks. I do them professionally. I do them as an enthusiast, as a hobbyist as well. My channel is all about fireworks, the safe, responsible use of fireworks. There's live streams on my channel. There's firework reviews. There's exclusive landed footage before anybody else. And there's all kinds of good stuff. So if you like fireworks and you're enjoying this stream, well, first of all, like the stream, click the like, let YouTube know you like this, and consider subscribing to my channel for more amazing firework content. There's more live streams coming up as well this next week. I can't tell you exactly when, probably in the evenings. There might be some in the afternoons, UK time. We'll see how we go. But because I don't have a streaming schedule like some other people, you might miss my streams unless you subscribe and enable all notifications, and that way you'll be notified whenever I go live. And you won't miss a thing, because this is unmissable viewing, this, folks. It's not. But I know some of you appreciate this and some of you like my streams. So if that's you, you're very welcome. That's good. I get one of the little 50mm ones. Bend it back a little bit because this is one I've used for an angled effect before. But that's fine, that will go in against that. Let's work out where that needs to go. Yeah, we'll put that in there. apologies that I have my back to the camera. We will rectify that in a moment. I've done that one a bit too close. Maybe. Let's... I think that will be fine. There we go. Yep, we're fine. We're good. That's good. Although I've done that one quite tight, that is actually pretty solidly in there already, which is great. That's kind of what I want. So let me find my other candle barrage. Here we go. So yeah, Yorgi candle barrage 1. They do a candle barrage 2 and a candle barrage 3 as well. 1 was the only one I could get my hands on. Fired this last year, really impressed with it, so I thought I'd get it again. But I'm using it in a different display this time. I used it in my Liverpool display last year, using it in my Manchester display this year. What I might also do with these, just as an extra, if I can get this one out, yeah. We're going to put a strip of double-sided tape along here as well, just to give that a little bit of extra support. I'm just going to do this on the floor. You probably can't. You can just about see me. So double-sided tape. You'll have seen this if you watch my other streams on my fountain boards, just to hold some stuff down. I'm going to do it on here, just because there's some weight in these 96 shot candles compared to the other ones. So I'm just going to do a strip of double-sided tape along each of these. I'll show you guys in a minute. There we go. So yeah, a strip of double-sided tape now along that side. Peel the backing off. Like so. And then get this in here. Like so. I mean, that's pretty good as it is. I will be gaffering this as well, but so we've got 2 frame ties, 200mm frame ties on the side of this. A little 50mm one on this side, just to stop any movement that way, and a 100mm one underneath. And that's pretty good. Let's stick the other one on the other side. Take the backing off. One little tip, if you're doing this and you're using E-matches, I don't talk about E-match an awful lot on my channel, but there is a risk if you pull this off too quick, it can create static, which could in theory trigger an E-match that you've not shunted. So just be careful if you're ripping stuff off like that with unshunted E-matches around. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's absolutely fine. I won't go into details, but E-matches is not something I talk about a massive amount on my channel because it's more of a specialist area that I don't unfamiliar with to be messing around with. So we'll get this one in here, stick that on as well with the double-sided. This is strong. This is like 3M double-sided tape, which you can sometimes find in the middle aisle of Lidl. That's where I got mine from. Around about October time each year. I think they might do it in February as well, but October time, early October, for 1 week you get like double-sided tape, aluminium tape, carpet tape, and then like a week or 2 after that, that's when you get all the 50-meter gaffer tape. So I always go in and stock up on that as well. So Lidl's really good for that. Really, the cheapest ones you can find. It's good quality. It's all 3M stuff as well. So there we go. That's in there. So I will gaffer tape those in now using some of my gaffer. 3D printer guy, are you using any using the same adapters you use in your fountain tables for the candle racks to mount them in the stands? So yes, the top hats from the speaker stands I think you're referring to, yes I am. So what I use on my fountain tables is the same thing here. They're really useful because I can screw them straight into wood, which is really beneficial. So yes, on this one, if I show you, if I lift this candle frame off, it's now a little bit heavier because it's got all the candles on. But yes, underneath that is the top hat speaker stand, readily available, fairly cheap, and they just fit on standard speaker stands like so. Makes it really easy to transport. Of course, I can change the height of these and things on the display site, so really useful. This stand in the middle is slightly different. This is a lighting stand. I'd basically run out of speaker stands. I'd use 7. 7's all I had. Why did he have 7? Why did he have a number of speaker stands? Yeah, good question. Probably because I bought 5 last year for my speaker. I had 2. And I've had 2 speaker stands since I was like 15. And last year I bought 5 more to do the 5 front sights for my Liverpool display. You'll have seen those if you follow my channel and you watched my streams last year. So I had 7 in total, but I realised I needed another one this year. Didn't have it, but I did have a lighting stand knocking around. Same kind of thing, slightly wider diameter tube though, designed obviously to take more weight than a speaker stand because it's for lighting, and they go a bit higher as well. So these ones slightly different on the back. I've had to basically kind of build a box, a little tunnel for this to kind of, the stand goes up through there with a lid on it, and so that's how I've mounted that. It works really well. Right, so let's gaffer these in. So I'm going to gaffer down this side, I'm going to gaffer under here and gaffer up that side, the 3 sides. I don't need to go overboard with this, it's just to stop it falling out. And I've already got the 3 frame ties and a bracket, and I've got that double-sided tape that you've just seen me put on the back, so don't need to go overboard. But I'm just going to put a strip of tape along here. Now on this side, like that, round underneath, and then back up the other side and rip it off at the top. That's the thing I like about gaffer tape, you can just rip it with your hand. Great. Probably need to rip a tiny bit more off because I don't want it to cover the top of the shot tubes. It would actually go through these shot tubes, but I'd rather not have gaffer tape over the top if I can help it. There we go, amazing. I might just do a little bit, because I've got a slightly smaller bracket on this side. I'm just going to do a little bit more on this side. Ooh. Amazing. There we go. So there's no way that candle's coming off there. Not without me wanting it to come off and cutting it off and stuff, but there's no way it's going to fall off when that's lit. 3D printer guy, that's cool. I used a projector mount for my fountain table. Yeah, that works just as well. As I say, a top hat connector that fits nicely. Yeah, absolutely. Anything like that is good. So what I like about these top hats is I can actually screw through them. And if you've got a projector, a top that you can do the same thing, then yeah, that works just as well. Right, let's gaffer tape this one. So same kind of thing. Gaffer tape along one side, across the 2 frame ties that I've got on there, under, like that, stick it on the bottom, and then up the other side, like that, and we'll rip it off a little bit shorter than I did on the other one. It's better. Nice. That's good. So yeah, I'm happy with that so far. That's looking okay. But I still need to get 2 more red mines on here and 2 Storm 4s and 2 Storm 3s. So still quite a bit to get on there. And we're running out of space. Oh, and I still got to get the other spinners on as well. Just remembered I've got to get some spinners on the side. Mustn't forget those. But I think, in fact, actually, yeah, let's get those spinners on before we do forget them. So the spinners are going to go up together on all 3 stands together. So 3 on each in like a W formation going up. These are Yorgi candles, 8 shots. They're not spectacular. They don't really achieve a massive height, but they're tabillions, which is unusual for a candle. So using them in multiples kind of looks all right. It looks okay. Right, there's one. I think I need to open another packet because they come in packs of 4 of these. Again, relatively inexpensive candles, single effect candles as well, which I like. I do prefer single effect candles. I know you can get candles that have got multiple effects and, you know, each shot's kind of does a different effect. I like single effect candles. I think you can be a bit more creative with them. There's more you can achieve with them. Right, so these are just going to go in on the sides like that and on the other side. So I'll get some of my cable ties in on those. Like that, and then again making sure I get these the right way around, looking where the arrow is. That's the direction of fire. That's going to sit on there like so. I'll do the cable tie around the top here like that. Again, being careful not to over tighten them. Go, and on the other side. If in doubt, if you do over tighten one of these and you think, have I done that a bit too tight, cut it off and put another one on. Yeah, okay, you've got to use an extra cable tie, but you know, it's better to be safe than choke a candle and have it blowing out everywhere. Right, that's good. So next thing to do is get the red mines in. Let me get the other, find the other one. There it is. So one's going to go on here like that, and then I've got to get two candles in the middle. Have I got the width to do the two candles side by side, or am I going to have to double stack? I have a feeling I'm going to have to double stack. Let's just see. If they went in there, can I get that in there? Oh, I might be able. Oh, do you know what? I might be able to get. It's going to be tight, but I might just be able to get all of those in there. Oh, that would be very satisfying, wouldn't it? That would be lovely. Let's have a think. I think that's achievable. I think we might be able to do that, folks. So let's get some more of my cable tie mount things. These are really quite good for these storm candles. They fit on there quite well. They're not perfect, but they're good enough. For these diameter candles, these are 21mm diameter candles. They wouldn't really work for 30mm. I'd have to get even bigger ones still. But 3D printer guy, I'm sure you can 3D print those as well. You can buy these, they're relatively inexpensive. You can buy them in bulk from Amazon. Like boxes of 150 or whatever they are. So let's just put these up here. What I do need to do is get these like as close as I can. In fact, actually that's gonna, how close can I get? Oh, I can get that fairly close. That's good. Okay, let's have a little look. Need some more screws. I need to get them really close to these. Oop. This would be so much easier if I did this on the floor or on a table horizontally. Never mind. We go on. We try and go on. Where did that one go? There. Do you know what would be easy if I drop this down as well? I don't know why I reach up and do it that high. Let's drop this down a touch if we can. Although mind you, where's the next? That will be okay. That's a little bit easier. Keep dropping these screws. What I really need is I need a screwdriver that's magnetic, don't I? That would be that would be too sensible, wouldn't it? There we go. Good. We get that one in there. Where did I put my other ones? There's one. Get one in just below this tie that I've got in here. Oh, it's getting late as well. Yes, we are past midnight now. It's 20 past midnight here in the UK. 11 of you fabulous people still watching me, still putting up with my inability to put a screw into a piece of wood. Doesn't help with this board's moving around. There we go, got it. It's good. I need to do it one more. Let's just see what. One there, one there. One at the bottom. Yeah. I did get some. I keep getting these out and forget where I put them in. Never mind, I've got 150. I can afford to lose a couple. One there, and one down here. Let's just mark where that one needs to go. Kind of there. Uh, 3D printer guy, have you created your firing order yet? No. No, for either show. I haven't done yet, no. And my first show is a week today. Well, a week yesterday now, because we're in Monday, isn't it? So it's this Sunday. No, I haven't. I am behind. But we're getting there. Usually the firing orders come fairly naturally. Because I've done this for many years now, but yes, I would have, in an ideal world, had my firing order done by now for both shows. But it is what it is. I say I am still waiting for some fireworks. I'm hoping they're going to come this week, so I may have to tweak my firing order up to the last minute anyway. We shall see. I realise that what I've done in doing that right up against the candle, I can't get a cable tie around that now. Didn't think of that, did I? Okay, let's... So I can get a cable tie this way, no problem on this one. Can I get a cable tie on the top one? Might be able to. Yeah, just about. If I twist it that way and twist it that way, yes I can. This one's going to be really tricky. Didn't think that through, folks. Never mind, we'll work it out. I'll unscrew it a little bit. That loosens it off enough that I can, I think, get a cable tie around that now. Perhaps. Yeah, it's there. I just need to be able to pull it through. There we go. But now I need to tie that screw up, and I can't because there's a cable tie in the way. Oh dear. Fingers crossed it all goes well and everything comes. I'm just doing your type small to large style show, building it up. Yep. Right, let's see if I can tighten this one up whilst it's got a cable tie on it. Yeah, looks like I can. That kind of works, I think. Okay, so Storm 3 going on here. Like so. That's good. Stormfall going on next to it. If I've got space still, I need to double check this. I need to kind of work out where they need to go. Where's my Stormfall? There's a Stormfall. So if that was there, will that go in there? Yes, it will. That's good. Oh, that's an interesting, that's an interesting screw. I don't think I'm going to be able to use that one. That's random. Oh, we'll bin that one. Let's try a different one. Okay, so try and get this one as close as I can. Mind you, I'm going to have the same issue of not being able to get a cable tie through again. I think on this side I'll get the brackets in before I put any panels on. It will be a little bit easier. Never mind. It will kind of come together, kind of work. There we go, I'll just twist it that way. That's better, that's okay. That's good, that will work. He says. good. It's in. So I'll try putting the cable tie through first and see if that's any easier. Probably not. I'm going to take that out just to screw it in initially, just so I can get it as close, because I'm really tight on space on this board. So I need to get this like as close that way as that will go. Like that. Let's see if I can get that through like that before I tighten it up. Come on, there we go. Yep, that's working. It's good. Oh, he says, just lost the cable tie. Oh, it's come out around that candle. Actually, do you know what? That will be fine. That will be fine. It can go around. It can go around the Storm 3 as well. Why not? You need a hammer for that screw, yes. Yeah, for that dodgy screw that didn't have a proper head on it. Right. Okay, so this one's going to go there, there, and we'll do one up here. Yeah, that will be fine. Again, apologies for having my back to the camera, folks. Right, let's get the Storm 4 on. She's going to go here, right up against the Storm 3. Now, unlike fountains, obviously if you saw my stream when we looked at the fountain boards, because all the fountains were really close together, I had to foil the top of them to prevent cross ignition. Less of an issue really with candles, because a fountain is sending out showers of sparks. Candles are sort of sending things up rather than kind of over the side. So cross ignition, less of an issue with candles. I will probably still foil the tops of these anyway, but less of an issue, less of a concern really with candles than it is with fountains. And not really an issue at all with cakes, only because with cakes the effect's kind of in the bottom of the tube, so sparks falling on the top of a cake, unlikely to accidentally ignite the cake. We say unlikely, it's not impossible, but it's unlikely. And this one's going to go around both. There we go, that kind of works, that's good. So now the question is there still room for the Northern Lights to go here? Oh, and there is. Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, look at that, folks. Sorry, baby, you're not as excited about that as I am. But yeah, that's quite nice. That fits in there quite nicely. So let me get another 3 of my little bits. You still awake, says Pyro Boy 101. Yes, I am. I say I had a sleep earlier this evening. Wasn't intending to, but I just fell asleep for an hour and a half. So I kind of woke up and felt really refreshed, which was good because I had a really long day yesterday. Busy day again today. So yeah, I've kind of had enough energy. I thought, yeah, I'll stream. Because I was like, I was in two minds today. I was like, I said I might stream on Sunday, but I have no energy. But then I had a sleep. I feel much better. So hence why I'm streaming for you guys. So welcome in if you're just joining. My name's Mark. I do fireworks. I do them professionally. 9 of you here at the moment. Welcome everybody. So great to have you here on a Sunday evening / Monday morning, or wherever you are in the world. Sunday afternoon, in fact, for some people, I guess. But welcome in. You're very welcome. I'm going to do this one a little bit like that. Let's see if that's good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's going to work. A bit fiddly to kind of work in the middle here, but we'll get there. That's good. 2 of those, get another one in. Just get this out of the way because we're catching on this board now, which I don't want to happen. There we go, that's good. Get another one in the centre. That's where I put those, by the way. You know, I got some out before and couldn't remember where they were. They're on top of there. Right, let's see if those are pretty good. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I need some longer cable ties again. Let's get these through. Easier said than done. Let's try and get them through this way. That's good. 1. 2, and this is the tricky one. This is a really tricky one. There we go, we're kind of doing it. Yep, there we go, we're through. Great. Perfect. I'm really happy with that, guys. Looks all right, doesn't it? Does the job. I say I'm going to neaten it all off. I'm going to trim all these and cable tie ends off and put a bit of gaffer tape everywhere I've got a cable tie. Put a little bit of gaffer tape on just to prevent, obviously this prevents the candle from falling off, but it could still move up and down a little bit. So I will actually put some more, like I did on here, I put some little 50mm brackets under those just to stop them moving, and a little bit of gaffer tape over all the cable ties just to prevent any movement as well. But that's coming together. 3D Printer Guy says, now that's what you call a candle bottle. Yeah, I'm really impressed with that. Obviously, you've still got to get a Storm 3, Storm 4 on this side and another one of these 56 shots on there. But yeah, it's coming together. It's looking all right. Pleased with this. It's good. Right, let's do the storms on this side then. Let me get a couple more. Let me get a 3 and a 4 out. So if you weren't here earlier, what's the difference between the Storm 3 and the Storm 4? Storm 3 candle is, they're both 8 shots, both 21mm. Storm 3 is red, green and yellow with silver tails, so comet tails basically, red, green and yellow pearls. The Storm 4, slightly different colours, red, lemon, blue and purple, so more unique colours, but there's no comet tails on that, which is a bit of a shame, but nice to have 2 different effects. So I'll be able to use those. I'm not going to use the 3s and 4s at the same time, but it allows me during the course of the display to do this candle effect kind of twice, one with comet tails and one without, but with different colours. So that's the thinking behind those. If you're also joining anything, what else we got on here? On each of these, we've got 3 Yorgi spinners. They're 8 shots as well. They send up silver to billions. Only 14mm diameter tube, so not as powerful as these. These are actually all F2 pieces. So I'm going to use 3 of those at a time. 3 on each of these candle frames. These frames are going to be like 8 meters apart. So this one's going to be in the center. That one's going to be 8 meters that way. That's going to be 8 meters that way. All firing sort of simultaneously. So it should look quite sky filling in theory. So, and then yes, we've got these Yorgi candle barrages, 96 shot candle barrage 1s. Really nice on there. We've got these red mines. There's going to be 3 of those. I'm not quite sure how they're going to perform because there's only one video I can find of those out. Yeah, there's lots of copies of it, but there's only one video, one in product video. So we'll see. I don't really know. I'm a bit concerned about they're not going to go very high. They might not look great at 50 meters away, which is where my spectators are going to be. But we'll see. I'm not going to use them on their own. They're going to be used with other things, probably as part of the finale. So even if they don't achieve a great height, it shouldn't matter too much. So we shall see. And then the other thing, the eagle eye amongst you might notice, I've got a couple of vivid candles, really hard to come by now in the UK. The 56 special white strobe, 56 shot special white strobe. 2 of those at 30-degree angles are going to be either side of the sight, firing over, crossing over. It should look really good. The other angles I've got on here, they're basically 20 degrees, give or take. These are 20, they're like 23. Those ones, but I mentioned earlier the way I measure them and get my angles. I use a digital inclinometer. Really good, really cheap from Amazon, but it shows you the angle. You'll see as I tilt that, the numbers change. So I can use that to check my angles on things. So they are 20.6 degrees. I'm never exact. I mean, it's virtually impossible to get exact angles, but you know, within a degree or 2 is acceptable. Within 5 degrees or 2 is probably acceptable. Norfolk Pyro is here. Hello, Norfolk Pyro. Hello again. Welcome back. I'm just assembling some candle frames for my display in Manchester because I can't put anything into the ground, so everything's got to be off the ground. So I've been building and assembling these candle frames on this stream. I did get a bit of a head start and do that one primarily off the stream, but we've done all that. We've made some progress tonight on the stream. We've done all that one. We've nearly done this one, so we are getting things done slowly but surely. So on here I've got 2 more candles to get, well 3 more candles, 2 more of these storms, 1 3 and 1 4, and a Northern Lights from Evolution red mine 56 shot candle. So that's the plan. Let's crack on with that. But great to have you here again, Norfolk Pyro. Welcome in. You're very welcome on this Monday morning as it is now. Yeah, we are Monday morning now in the UK. I appreciate that people have got to get up early in the morning as well. So if you've got to go and you can't stay for the whole stream, that's absolutely fine. If you're watching this on the replay because you couldn't watch the whole thing live, welcome. You're very welcome. Leave a comment down below and I will read them. I do read all the comments on my channel. I try to reply to as many as I can. Don't get to reply to them all, but I certainly read them all. So do keep the comments coming, folks. And of course, if you're watching live, you can communicate with me in real time in the live chat because I do read all the live chat as well. That's one of the things I love about these live streams, being able to interact with you guys here. So welcome if you're just joining. Welcome if you've been here for the past 3 hours. What time did I start? 9:30, 10, 11. The past 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. Welcome in. A 3D printer guy, this is a great Monday morning compared to a normal one. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Some supermarket fireworks for the family on Wednesday. Oh, you're doing some family. Yes, we were talking about supermarket fireworks a little bit earlier on this stream as well. So, yeah, always nice little things to do for the family, aren't they, in the back garden and things. So, yeah, absolutely. Right, what was I doing? Yes, I was putting these little cable ties. If you're new to the stream, this is a cable tie mount. I'm trying them for the first time this year. Never actually used them before, but these are quite cheap, little plastic things. You can get them off Amazon. The idea is you screw them into your wooden board and then you can put a cable tie through. So rather than cable tying onto the board, you're cable tying onto these. So I've seen ones before that have like the little sticky pads on the back and you put a cable tie around. No, they're not going to work for fireworks, are they? But these, because I can screw them in, should be really good. So that's what I've been using primarily for the vast majority of these. I've got two different types or two different sizes. I initially bought some and they arrived and I'm like, oh, they're too small, shall I send them back? But actually they work really well on the little 14mm candles. They're kind of the right size for that. I got some bigger ones here that are good for the 21mm candles. So I didn't send the small ones back. I thought I'll keep them because I will actually be able to use them. And I have, which is good. Right, so let's get these ones in here. Let's attempt to do this screwing, which is always really tricky. Especially when I do it far too close to the candle like that. Let me try that again. That was far too close. How many times have I done that now on this stream? A lot. As I keep saying, it'd be so much easier if I just lay this down and did it, then I'm not having to. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's kind of working, sort of. It's taken me several attempts, but it's getting there. But hey, that's one of the joys of live broadcasting. Anything can happen, and on these streams, anything does. Better. I won't do that fully in yet because I've still got to get a cable tie through. I've learned from these ones. Same with that one. I'm not going to do that one too tight yet till I've got a cable tie in. I think I'm onto a new bag of screws, folks. Oh no, there's one more left in there first. Actually, I shall get cable ties around these ones. Now, this one's really tricky in the middle because it's so close to the other candle. There we go, I've done it. Brilliant. That's good. Right, let's tighten those up if I can. Which again is tricky when the cable tie's already in, but we give it a go. That's good. And this one. It's pretty good. Not quite the right angle though, so let's just undo that a touch. Get that there, that's better. That's better. Right, let's have a look. Talking about supermarket fireworks, I bought a £5 12-shot cake from Aldi. Mostly foam inserts to make it look bigger. Kind of knew that one. Yeah, and that's that is the issue. You do find that quite a lot in selection boxes and in cheaper supermarket cakes. The cakes look big and impressive, but actually a lot of it is just padding inside. Yeah, it happens quite a lot. More so in supermarket fireworks. Say if you go to a specialist retailer, you won't find that to the same extent. But yeah, polystyrene and things like that and padding is quite prominent in supermarket fireworks, sadly. But that's because we buy fireworks with our eyes, don't we? We were actually talking about the big Gatling gun type candles. I know it's controversial. We talked about it on the stream on Thursday, I think. And we were saying, yeah, these great big candles, they look impressive, but actually the candle is actually the size of a 56 shot. Even though the candle's like twice the length of that, most of it's just polystyrene and air and padding. So, right, we are going to do a storm. What are we doing on this one? Storm 3. So let me just work out where this other one needs to go at the bottom. It's going to sit on there. This one's going to go on here. Apologies, I'm blocking the camera again. So that can go on there. That's good. New packet of screws now, folks. Will you be using F3 products on your community display coming up? So my one in Liverpool, no I won't, because I've not got the space. My one in Manchester, I was like, I could do F3 because I have got the space. It's a football pitch. I could do it in the middle of the pitch. But if I did it in the middle of the pitch, I could only really do F3 stuff straight up because there is a public footpath at the side of the pitch. So even though I've got like over 30 metres from the edge of my firing site to this public footpath, I've got like 34 metres. It would kind of be quite tricky to do angled stuff at F3. Plus as well, I didn't have a massive budget for this community display in Manchester. This is the first time we're doing this display. I've wanted to do one for my local community for so long because there's just nothing in this area, especially now Manchester City Council cancelled all the big council displays. There's nothing. So I wanted to do this. It's the first year we're doing it. So it's more of like a trial. I just want to kind of show what's available. So I had limited budget. So because of that, yeah, I could have used F3, but I thought, right, I'm going to limit myself to F2 and put on a really good display because I think I like having these constraints to work to when you've got a budget, because it would have been so easy if I'd used F3 products with the budget I've got, I wouldn't have been able to do a good enough show. Let's be honest. Yeah, I could have got a couple of compounds and things, but it wouldn't have been as good. So I've intentionally limited, even though I could get away with doing F3 on this site, because I want to do wide stuff, I want to do fan stuff. You'll see if you watch one of my live streams coming up this next week, I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm going to be doing my fountain tables for my Manchester one. If you watch my other fountain table ones, you'll see they're really quite small fireworks because of the distance. My fountain tables for my Manchester one are bigger. They've got bigger fireworks on. They've got like Goldilocks fountains and all kinds of stuff on those. But those boards themselves are going to be angled. So there's going to be 5 along the front again. The middle one's going to be flat, but then the outer ones are going to be at angles, and the outer ones are going to be even bigger angles. So these fountains, rather than all going straight up, are going to be kind of fanned out themselves. So it's going to look quite impressive. So yeah, I could do F3 stuff, but I've decided to limit myself really to F2 on this because there is enough good F2 products out there now that you can do big displays for the public as well, just using F2 products. The only difference will be, or one of the differences will be that for my Liverpool display where space is restricted, I don't do any of the big like 30mm tube F2 stuff, whereas on this one for the Manchester one, I am going to be using some of the largest 30mm F2 products as well, lots of Reikio and things like that, Celtic and things in that display. So no F3 in either of my displays. One of the displays because I can't, because I don't have the space. The other one because I've kind of limited myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to limit myself just to F2 stuff and do an amazing display. So that's kind of where we're up to with F2, F3. Hope that makes sense. Right, let's get this last one in here. Storm 3. Here we go. I like to as well. I try this side isn't going to be facing the audience, so this is going to be away from the audience. The audience is going to be the other side. And the reason we do that, if you're new into the stream wondering why do we do that, it's because if anything was to fall off, it would fall away from the audience. There's absolutely no way that any of this could fall forward towards the audience, so that's why we do it. But what I do like to do, I'd like to try and orientate these so I can still see the name of the product. It would be very easy to put that around like that, and then you come to wire it up, you're like, oh, what was that again? What candle was that? So by having the name at the front, it just makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to put this one on here. Again, let me try and move away out of the blocking the camera. Put this top cable tie around like that. Do the bottom one next. Like that. Again, being careful not to over tighten these. Less of an issue on these bigger candles, to be fair, than it is on the smaller candles. But even so, just from experience, just good practice not over tighten them. You just basically just to stop them from falling off, so they don't need to be that tight anyway. They're just there for that purpose. So, some mad random person says, "Morning. Have you still not got them done, Mark? We're nearly there. We're nearly there. I got 2 more candles to put on this one, and then we're kind of done for the night. So we're getting there." It's slow going, but hey, we're having a lot of fun. Well, I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. I'm sure if you're still here and still watching and you've been here the whole time, then you are obviously having fun. Either that or you've got nothing better to do on your Sunday evening / Monday morning and you don't have to be up early. So either way, you're very welcome here. So yeah, let's crack on and get the Storm 4 on next. I need some more of my little cable tie mounts. And then we've got the challenge of, so normally I do these further apart, but because I'm really short on space, I want to do these so close that it's really tricky to get these in. Let's just take those screws out to there, I think. It's going to be easier. Again, I'm not going to screw that in all the way yet because I've still got to get cable tie around it. Good. Right, let's get some cable ties around those. I'm going to start skimming and prepping my cakes tomorrow. Yes, I'll be probably moving on to cakes tomorrow. Either that or I'll do fountain. I've still got another 5 fountain boards to do. Might do fountain boards tomorrow, might do cakes. Either way, I'm sure I'll be streaming tomorrow. Well, it'll be later today now, won't it? Now that we're in Monday. I'll be streaming at some point. It might be this afternoon, it might be this evening, it might be both. Who knows? We'll see. But if you're not subscribed, you know the drill. Subscribe to the channel, enable all notifications, then as and when I do go live, you guys will know. You'll be notified by the YouTube gremlins, not gremlins, YouTube, well, whatever. The YouTube elves, let's call them. Good. This one needs to be this side of the screw. so that I don't screw through the cable tie, which wouldn't be great. Can I get that out of the way? Possibly. Yep. It's good. And then I need one more at the bottom. Let's mark where that one's going to go. Do you know what? I actually got more done on this stream than I thought I was going to do. Didn't even think I'd get onto this one. So we are actually doing better than I was expecting. So that's a bonus. Let's do this one. That. Good. Great. Okay, so storm 4 going in here. Nice. That's good. And now we just need to get the other red mine in, which, all being well, should fit in rather quite nicely, satisfyingly there, which is good. How nervous do you get before showtime? Do you feel the pressure, especially when people start turning up? Yeah, I do. I genuinely do. And it's going to be more so this year because this is the first time I'm using a different firing system. So I've been using WPS, you might be familiar with it, since 2017. And I recently invested and made the switch to FireTech. And these shows will be the first ones that I actually use them in. I use FireTech in. I've obviously done a lot of testing, but even so, I'm a little bit nervous about that because, again, it's a system that I'm not yet as familiar with as my WPS, which I've been using for years and which is solid and things. So yes, there's always nerves. There's more so nerves this time. Even when I was using my WPS, I'd still have nerves. When you press that fire button, you're like, is anything going to happen? When the first firework goes off, there's a massive relief, but there's always that, you know, you do the countdown, you get everyone to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's always that fear that it gets to 1, you press the go button, the fire button, the start button, and nothing happens. There's always that fear. But then there's always that elation at the end of the display as well, when you get a round of applause and everything's pretty much gone off. Yeah, you're going to get things that don't quite work as you intended, and cakes that overrun or fall short, or something didn't fire or whatever. So there's always going to be things like that, but at the end of the day, the Joe public are not going to notice that. So if you get a round of applause at the end and pretty much everything's fired, most stuff's fired as it was, the elation you get, the euphoria, it's such a great feeling. But yeah, there's a lot of nerves beforehand, a lot of nerves. I say there's going to be even more this year because I'm using a different firing system that I've never used in a display before. So yes, lots of nerves this year. Some mad random person, do you know what? That's a better way to do candle mounts. I've built mine the awkward way of 3 pieces angled when I couldn't just build a T-piece and screw some straps. So yeah, so I've had to kind of rethink how I do candles. I don't usually do candle frames generally. Usually I will just put like I'll get like a big garden stake like this. I get these from B&Q or your hardware store or your garden centre. They're about, you can get them about 2 meters long, so I usually cut them in half and get these kind of decent stakes. They have a point in one end. Stake, hammer these into the ground, use your digital inclinometer or whatever to get an angle, or just guess at an angle if you don't want to be that precise, and then gaffer tape your candles to that, or cable tie your candles or whatever, and that's usually fine. And that's what I'll be doing for the Liverpool display, because I can hammer stuff into the ground. But because of my Manchester display I'm doing on a professional football pitch, I can't hammer anything into the ground, so I've had to rethink that this year, which is good, because that's been a bit of a challenge as well. Like, how am I going to do my cakes? How am I going to do this, that and the other? How am I going to protect the pitch? So that's why I came up with this. So yeah, maybe it's a bit over-engineered, but it's going to do the job. It's going to be secure. These things are not going to fall off. It should look quite impressive. So yeah, this is one way of doing it. But there are, of course, there's lots of different ways to do it. My channel's not about sort of saying, oh, this is the way you must do it, and there's no other way. This is the right way, and everything else is wrong. There's lots of different ways to do things. I just showing you the way that I'm doing stuff. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Doesn't mean it's the only safe way of doing it, but it's a way of doing it. So yeah, absolutely. Whilst I was away, I missed how you mounted the blinkers. How did you do them? The same way as I did. I don't know if you saw my streams when I did the fountain boards. Basically the same kind of way. I've got a little angle bracket, a little 50mm angle brackets, because there's no recoil in these. It's not like shot tubes and things. There's absolutely no recoil. So I've basically just screwed in a 50mm right angle bracket to there, and then cable tied them. If you saw my stream when we did the fountain boards, I gaffer taped around the little Yorgi strobes. This one I've actually done cable ties around it, and I was showing you that because these little brackets have got like 2 holes there, so I screw in down here and then here. I've actually cable tied through the holes. You don't have to do that. You could just cable tie around the bracket, but then if I lifted this up, it would just come out of the cable ties. So by doing it through the 2 holes, one way and one the other way, that's actually really secure on that now. So that's how I've done the little blinkers. There'll be another blinker on the top of this one as well at some point. There may be, if they turn up, there might be 1 extra firework on each of those, which I'll talk about if they do arrive. We shall see. But yes, there'll be a blinker. So that's how I did my blinkers on there. Hopefully that answers the question. Or is that fountains? No, those are blinkers. Those are Celtic red blinkers. I use Yorgi strobes, the white ones, on the fountain tables. I will be using Yorgi white ones on the fountain tables for this display, for both my displays in fact. But the finale for this Manchester display is going to be quite red. So I wanted to have some red blinkers, and really the only red blinkers you can get pretty much are Celtic ones. So I've got some Celtic red blinkers in there, and they're good. There's nothing wrong with them. I do prefer Yorgi. I did a test last year, comparison on my channel, you'll see it. If you search for strobes or Yorgi or Celtic, I compared the Yorgi white strobes with a Celtic white blinker, to see which I thought was the best. Actually, I thought the Yorgi ones were better, but Yorgi only do the white ones, sadly. I wish they did some other colours in their little strobes. They do some white strobe flares, which I've got, which you'll see when I put my fountain boards together for my Liverpool display. I do have some of these. These are by Yorgi. These are white strobe flares, so not quite the same as the little JS021 white strobes. Curious to see what these are going to be like. I'm going to have 5 of these on my fountain boards at the front, which are going to be angled, as I said, so they're not all going to go up straight. So we'll see what they're like. I don't know how smoky they're going to be. Again, I've seen some footage of them. We'll see. They might be quite smoky, but I've got those ones. I've also got the red flare. So this isn't a strobe, it's just a red flame. But again, it's going to be a bit of a red theme to sort of the finale. Not for any particular reason. It's not like the football club is, I don't even know what kit this football club playing at the place I'm doing it, but just the way it was working out. My finale was going to include a couple of Ghost Riders from Celtic, which are a bit like Brexit. Same shaped cake, same number of shots, same dump kind of action, but that kind of ends with lots of red. So I was kind of going to go for a bit of a red finale. So wanted red things. I've got some red flares from Yorgi and some white strobe ones. So we'll see what they're like. But yeah, on the top of those are Celtic red blinkers on those. Gotcha, yeah, seeing it now. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, great. Fade Nano says hello there. Hello there, Fade Nano. Welcome in. 3D Printer Guy says, time for bed, Mark. Nice joining again. Hopefully see you on another day. Yeah, have a great Monday. Thanks, 3D Printer Guy. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your super chat as well the other day. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And hope to see you on the next stream. Have a great night. Faye Nano says, can't wait for Diwali this week. Yes, 1st of November, I think, Diwali. Got my stuff ready. Yes, fireworks really popular, of course, for Diwali as well. So great. Glad you've got your stuff together. Never used blinkers before. Always concerned about if they'd give off a lot of smoke. I have ordered some for this year. They do give off a little bit of smoke. I think there is a video on my channel of all the Celtic blinkers. No, that might have been 2 months. I can't remember. But yes, they do give off a bit of smoke, but I've never found them to be overly smoky. So they should be fine. They're certainly not going to be as smoky, I think, as those Yorgi flares. I think they're going to be quite smoky. We shall see. Blinkers not really that smoky in my experience. There's a bit of smoke, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to smoke out your display. Where did you get the strobe flares from? I think they were from actually Anfield Fireworks up in Liverpool. The white strobe flares and the red strobe flares. So yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get this last cake candle on. So I need a few more of these. I already got one up there, so let's get a couple of those. Let's get a screw. Let's double check where this is gonna, making sure we get this the right way round. Because we were saying before, sometimes it is quite easy to get candles the wrong way round. So always check you're getting them the right way round. Normally they'll have an arrow on showing the firing direction. But sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. I mean, these ones, for example, these are all right. Usually, you know, candles like this, they have like the cellophane over. I have seen candles where they have the cellophane over the top and the cellophane over the bottom. These ones don't, and that makes it quite tricky to know which is up. So always look out for the arrow. Always do that in the daylight first as well. If you're not setting stuff up like this and you're actually just having fireworks in your garden, you're getting out of the box and sort of lighting them there and then. Always check them over first in the daytime, be familiar with them, read the safety instructions on them, find out which direction they fire and things, so that when it's dark outside in your garden or whatever, you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so this one's going to go there, and that's going to fit in. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Let's try and see if I can do this without the screws flying everywhere this time. I want that to be there. That's good. And Fade Nano says, I've got the full alpha set by Funk. Oh yes, the alpha rockets, yes. Never used foldable sticks. They're meant to click in position. Yes, they are. Did I do a video? I know I was going to do a video on foldable rocket sticks. But yes, so some bigger rockets have foldable sticks. Why? Because it makes them easier to transport. You do need to unfold it. So what happens is you unfold it, and then there's usually a plastic sheath that kind of slides down over it. So unfolded to, I don't think I've got a spare rocket stick around to show you. There is video of it on my channel. If you search for like the Vivid VSR 4 rockets, they have foldable sticks, and so I do talk about those in the review. So, but normally, yes, you unfold it. There's usually a plastic sheath which then slides down across and sort of clicks into place. Make sure it clicks, and that's how you use those. And the other thing to be aware of with those, obviously, where that plastic hinge is, that's obviously wider than the stick. So just be careful, make sure you've got a tube that's wide enough to accommodate that and that it's not going to get caught as it comes up. I built a big rocket rack. You may have seen it if you've been on my channel for a while. For New Year's Eve last year, we did some more live streams from my garage where I built a great big rocket rack because I sent up a volley of like 60 odd rockets or something crazy like that at New Year's Eve. And some of those were big rockets and some of those had hinges. And my rocket rack had like a metal kind of grill top for me to stand the rockets in. And obviously for something like that, you can't do the rockets with the hinges because there's a risk that as it lifts, it could get caught in the top. So there's a few things you have to be aware of with hinge rockets, but they are inherently safe. Just make sure, as I say, that you fold it out properly, you move the sheath over the hinge and it clicks into position. So hope that helps. I've ordered the little triple pack of Yorgie stroke fountains. Yes, I've got hundreds of those. I haven't got hundreds of those packs. I've got several of those packs. They're great. They're really cheap and they're such good. I don't know if you've ever used them before. But they are really good. I use them in most of my displays. Each one has a burn time of 60 seconds. Really bright. I think they're a little bit better than the Celtic ones. And they come in a pack of 3 as well, so they work out cheaper as well. So yeah, you're going to be impressed with those if you've not had those before. Some mad random person. Terry Parkinson says, thanks for the stream, Mark. Enjoyed watching. Bedtime for me. Yes, I appreciate it. It's now 1:15 in the morning. We are nearly finished, actually. I'm going to get one more candle on and then we're probably going to end for the night. But it won't be the last stream. There'll be another stream at some point today, I'm sure. Should be okay. I think I have a tube with them. Yes, and that's the other thing. If you buy rockets and they come with a tube, you know, that tube is designed for those rockets. So that's the tube to use. Right, okay, let's get another one of these in. Let's go, I think here will be good. Okay. Sorry, I appreciate I've got my back to the camera again. I know it's really unprofessional, isn't it, folks? Good, and then one more. And that can go, let's just see what length I need. That can go in there, that's fine. But yeah, I'm always happy to answer your questions, guys, in the chat. Don't think, oh, mustn't distract him. In fact, if you know this, you know I get distracted all the time by the chat. So yeah, always happy to answer questions. I don't know the answer to everything, but I can always find out the answer if I don't know. Or we can talk about it and we'll work out the best solution. Nice. It's good. Yeah, never use them, so looking forward to using them. Yeah, you're gonna like those Yorgie strobes. They're really good. All I will say, I don't know, I did say it on my other stream, but you might not have seen it. The fuses do quite easily fall out of the tops of those because it's basically just a piece of visco fuse on the top with like a piece of masking tape over it. Effectively, they do fall out really easily. You can really easily attach them. You just lay the fuse over the top again and put some more tape over it. Can I show you? Have I got one that I've not set up? Yeah, here we go. So they come in a pack of 3, obviously. They come like that with the fuse taped down the side. So I just slice through there to bring the fuse up. But there is a danger that the fuse can come out. Say, if it does, just pull off all this tinfoil, what is it, tissue paper from the top, peel back the bit of effectively masking tape over the top, lay the fuse back on top and tape over it, and then it'll be absolutely fine to go. So yeah, I usually foil the tops of these as well, just because to stop cross ignition, but also it keeps the fuse on. But say these are really good. Their burn time is 60 seconds, and they are pretty much 60 seconds, give or take a second or two. They're really reliable. I've been using them for years. Such great value as well. Pack of 3, really cheap as chips. The Yorgi JS021 fountain, love these. I wish they did them in other colours, but they're really good. So yes, if you've never used them before, I think you're gonna be impressed with them, and I think you're gonna be using them for years to come. Fade Nano, I got a bit carried away this year and got too many fireworks, but I guess I can have a competition with my neighbours. I don't think, can you have too many fireworks? Well, actually, technically you can, because there are storage limits on fireworks, so technically you can have too many fireworks. But yeah, and even if you don't use them, you know, fireworks don't go off as long as you store them, you know, away from damp and high temperature changes and moisture and humidity and all those kind of things. That they will last years, and you can always use them next year if you don't get through them all this year. Okay, cable tie time. One, 2, and 3. And then let's get this seated nicely on here. Let's find where that tube is. Sit on there, that's good. There we go. So that candle frame is pretty much done now. I'm going to put another blinker on the top, but I'm not going to reach to do that now. I'll do that another time. I am going to put some of those 50mm brackets just underneath the 56 shot candles, just to prevent any recoil, just because there's a bit more weight in those. As I said earlier, there is actually less recoil from those than you get from the Storm 4s, because they're a bigger bore. Generally speaking, the bigger bore your candle is, the bigger diameter the tube, the more recoil you're going to get from it. Those are 21mm diameter. These ones are only 14, so there's less recoil, but there's more weight in those. So I'll just screw in a little bracket under each just to give that a bit of extra support. I will, of course, cut off all these excess cable ties. You don't need to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, who's going to see that? It's going to be dark on your firing site. This isn't the audience side. This is away from the audience. Your audience is not going to see that. So you don't have to do that. If you're running out of time, don't bother with that. I just like to do it because I like things to look neat, but hey. So yeah, so let me just catch up on the chat again. Just out of curiosity, says Fade Nemo, I like asking this to people. What's your favourite fireworks brand currently? Mine's Gemstone and Funky. Funky looks good. I'll be honest, I haven't yet actually seen any Funky products with my own eyes. I've not been able to fire any yet. Probably because they're not that widely available. They're becoming more widely available, but I haven't been able to fire any yet, so I can't really comment on Funky. But from the videos I've seen, yes, it looks an amazing brand, but I don't have a first-hand experience of it yet, so I can't really say. In terms of my favourite brands at the moment, I don't have one favourite brand. As I was saying earlier, I kind of like to pick and choose the best items from different brands, which is why my show has got all kinds of different brands. I need to tot up, and I will for the next live stream, how many different brands I've got. I've got Brothers in here, I've got Skycrafter, I've got Celtic, I've got Standard, I've got TNT, I've got Yorgi, I've got Diamond, I've got Vulcan, I've got, what else have I got down here? Vivid, I've got Reikio, I've got some prestigious pyrotechnics, some evolution stuff. I've got like such a big range. It's very difficult to say one brand, but there's some notable brands I don't mind mentioning. Celtic, I think, is a really consistent brand. They have a massive range, and their products are sort of like semi-pro level, even pro level. Check out my video of the monster fountain they brought out. It's incredible. You'll love it. So Celtic, really good brand. Vivid, really good brand. Reikio, really good brand. Yorgi, I say I really rate Yorgi. Vulcan have been really quite impressive over the last couple of years as well. Vulcan are kind of becoming more on my radar as well. Those are a few of the brands I'd say, but I don't have an overall favourite brand because there's lots of brands that have really good products within their ranges. So I like to sort of handpick and select the best from each. So Fade Nemo says, Fade Nano, I don't know why I call you Nemo. I don't know, probably because I got a 3-year-old daughter who like watches all the Disney stuff, so apologies. Fade Nano, not Fade Nemo. Can't pick. I guess they're all good in their own way. Yeah, and that's interesting. We actually had a debate on these streams that I did last year for my prep for last year. I was asked a similar question about, you know, which are the worst brands. And I basically said on the stream, I don't think there's such a thing as a bad firework, a bad brand. And I'm like, okay. And I sort of said on the stream, like, there are some brands that I don't really use, like the cheap ones, Spook, Diamond, Bad Boy, Bulldog, all those kind of, what I like to, I don't like to call them cheap brands, I call them value brands. But I basically sort of said there's no such thing as a bad firework. And then I was like, well, okay, I've said that now. I kind of need to back that up and put my money where my mouth is. So I went out the next day and bought a load of diamond candles, which I've never used before or in a show. And I was like, let's put them in alongside the Vivid and the Celtic and all those kind of products, and let's see how they held up. So we did that as a result of these streams, these backstage behind the scenes streams last year. I went out and bought loads of diamond fireworks, put them in my display, and actually they weren't bad, to the point where I've actually used some diamond candles again this year. So because they're cheap as chips, they're like 140 shot Firestorm candles, like £3. Like how can you not? So yeah, I do kind of stand by that, the fact there's no such thing as a bad firework. It's all about how you use it. And yeah, firework on its own might look pretty pathetic, but use it in multiples, use it in different shapes, things like that, and you can actually make anything look quite impressive. So that's what we've kind of learned from my streams, hopefully. Anyway, okay, so the 6 of you still watching, I know numbers have gone down now because, of course, in the UK, it's now nearly 1:30 on a Monday morning. People have got to be up for work in a few hours. I'm going to be up for work, not for work, but I'm going to be up in a few hours with my daughter. So I think we're going to call it a night now. We've been streaming since 9:30, 10, 11, 12, 1. We've done another nearly 4-hour stream. There will be more streams coming up this week because I've got loads more prep to come up. What can you look forward to in that? Well, I've got to build another 5 fountain boards for my Manchester show. They're going to have bigger things on than my 5 boards that I did on the other streams for my Liverpool show. So lots of things coming up there. I've also got to prep all my cakes for both shows. There's absolutely loads to do still. So hopefully you'll join me on the next stream. It'll probably be later today, maybe this afternoon, maybe this evening, who knows, but more stuff coming up. I appreciate it. If you've still been watching right from the start of this stream, if you've been here the whole 4 hours, well done you. We made it. If you're new to my channel and this is your first time watching me and you've enjoyed this, why not subscribe to the channel, enable all notifications, and then you'll be notified as and when I go live again. But thanks everybody for your company. I appreciate it. Some mad random person says, I'm here for the long haul, Mark. Thank you. Appreciate your company. Some mad random person. I love that name as well. It's a great name to give a shout out to on YouTube. So thank you, everybody. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night now because it's nearly 1:30 in the morning. My voice is starting to go and I need to get some sleep. But we'll be back here in my garage again later today, I'm sure. So for now, though, I'm going to say thanks, everybody. I hope that's been enjoyable. I hope you've learned some stuff, maybe found some tips you can use in your own shows to make them safe and make them enjoyable and do some creative things with them. So hopefully that's been good, and I'll see you again on the very next stream. All being well. Thanks, everybody. I shall say bye-bye. Bye.